Hey mofos, welcome back to the Open Chess Anime Podcast with your host, the Anime Collector. Joining me, RHYS2753.
I'm wearing flannel lined pants. I'm not taking them off today.
Okay. Also with me, FDDNM.
I'm not wearing pants either. I'm wearing shorts.
All right. And Augie is not joining us because the nuns wouldn't let him out of the sewer.
we gotta drink to that. We got like kind of shot every time we say that now.
So, I'm sorry to say, as the title suggests, that this podcast marks the end of an era. That era, of course, being about a month and a half of trash content and declining watch time on the channel. So, you know what amazingly brilliant big brain thing I did? I didn't open up all the tabs, which is fantastic because from what I've been told, I'm a 14. I resemble the nether regions in an adult video in Japan that is a frozen still frame from last time RHYS gave me an update on how good my connection was. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is let you guys stall for me for a bit. By the way, did you see my tweet?
Nope.
Hold on, I'll pull it up real quick. So I just finished watching Blood Plus at 3 times speed. It's exactly as I remember it, only slightly longer.
The 50 episode series?
I'm sorry, did I say Blood Plus? I meant The Last Vampire. Yes, because it apparently is 50 minutes and not 30, as I recalled. Okay, I gotta pull this into a new.
I was remembering it being a full length movie, but I saw it like back in 2012. So
This is my first time.
I probably saw it like 8 times, but 7 of those were in 2004 or so. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up these tabs. And the 8th one being the one I watched just now. So I remember it quite well.
Green Line 743.
I was like, oh yeah, there's nudity in this.
Green Line 743, sole proprietor in the OCA Podcast, LLC. Oh, so you're here today at the Confident One at the Anime Collector.
Yes, I am here today at the great sadness of my wife. Let's see. Just opening up all these tabs. AC's Funhouse has just become the entire document. All right. Come on. Now. Oh, shoot. One of them I need to scroll down on real quick. So bear with me while I don't. I'm going to screen share show you my tweet. I mean, I'm not like super proud of it or anything.
Why not?
There you go. Oh, there we go.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wait, I can do full screen now. I can read this again.
Yeah. That's a fast internet right there. That's fast internet right there, yep. Saya dripping blood into the open mouth of the chiropteran she just cut in half. Thank you for ruining the joke, screen share and slow internet.
Well, was she feeling like sentimental that she killed one of her own almost kind?
Fine and generous God.
I got the same vibe from this. Don't you remember this from 300?
Zack Snyder must have watched Blood Plus before you shot that.
You mean Blood the Last Vampire?
Whatever.
All right, audience, you got to keep us on our toes. How many times are we going to make that mistake tonight?
Don't worry, I'm here for that reason, apparently.
That's number 2. That's
right.
number 2.
I'm going to go ahead and stop screen sharing before I accidentally click on the exact thing I can't show. Oh, good. I clicked on the exact right thing. Let me just scroll past it, and we're good to go. Oh, wait. The images are loading. It's moving around. Maybe I should wait slightly longer. I'm actually I'm a little perturbed by the fact that that it opened without asking me if I wanted to okay adult content. I hope that none of the other ones are okayed. Whew. All right, here we go. So yeah, not right before the podcast, but earlier today, I went to my storage unit and I got my Cat 7 Ethernet cable that I used to use at my house in Arizona, which I am jacking into some of the worst internet in California. But I didn't have the foresight to also grab my USB-C to HDMI cable so that I could use one of the many monitors around me currently so that I could keep an eye on the chat during this. So, RHYS, you are in charge of choosing who gets to be on camera at any given moment. And also, let me know if any chat pops up so that I can...
That's exactly what I was thinking, anime collector in chat.
For a second, I thought you were referencing Jeffrey Toobin. Do you know about that?
I was just put me on the screen for the entire thing.
I guess my choice of words. Yes. Yes. So anyway, a CNN contributor recently was on a Zoom call with the journalist that he...
I thought I muted the video because, you
he
mute
thought he muted
video.
the video. Because
he probably hit the mute button, thought that got rid of the video, but it just muted the sound.
Something to that effect is probably what happened. Yeah, and he started jacking off to his coworkers, and what's amazing is that the rest of the news media, because this guy was so anti-Trump, has decided to pretend like that's normal and defending him. So that's the world I live in now.
Hashtag this is the No Pants Podcast.
Yeah, I was going to say hashtag No Pants Podcast. Okay. All right. So I see on one of these that Augie has messaged. I guess that's nothing. That's nothing important. Closing. Those nuns just won't let him out. Poor guy. All right, so this we're gonna get a lot of mileage out of that joke. You guys aren't gonna get. I'm sorry. Maybe we'll explain it at some point. All right, here we go. If you guys would like to support the Open Chest Anime Podcast, you can do so by sharing this video. But if you are a pay pig and you want to give us money, we have many convenient payment plans. That you can do.
Whoa.
Holy shit!
If you're a host, I encourage
Holy shit! No! Holy sh! Green Line 743, $100.
Oh,
he is really investing in our stocks now that we're going to be in a new era.
Well, good job. Glad to see you're back, and it's good to see you in good spirits. Here's a tip for the better internet down the road.
I'm going to put that $70 into the pockets of my co-hosts. You know, the ones who are here tonight.
Is that going to be split evenly?
Yes. And
Damn.
then
Thank you, Greenlight 743.
The remaining money will go to the internet. Yeah, I guess I should give you guys a little heads up. So I'm in California now. I started a new job. It's an interesting job. I get to go all around Orange County, and I've got to tell you, I have seen things that I have never expected to see, which is that there are significantly more Trump flags being flown than Biden flags. And in the last couple of days, A lot of those Biden flags have started to come down. I don't know if you're familiar with what's been found on that laptop. I was telling this to my wife, you know the reason that Democrats want you to vote early? It's the same reason that bootleggers on eBay want you to give them feedback before
you can't take it back afterwards.
Yeah, before you get the item. Anyway.
That's funny.
All right. So
I haven't voted yet.
Yeah, I'm voting in person.
I haven't voted yet. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I'll take your
I would hope not, but I'm certain a certain party would say, "Oh, just come on over. We'll let you vote."
You know what? I'm going to cast my vote this year for one Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, that's my president.
We'll take him off your hands with my one vote. All right. Anyway. Okay. So if you guys would like to support the podcast, follow in Greenline 743. It's an amazingly generous.
Follow
spirit.
our Messiah. Incremental amounts.
Even 1% of that would be welcome. But also, if you guys want to support me, I recorded a video since I got here. Can you guys believe it? I recorded a couple. Most of them have been on my phone, and I call it the shitty moving vlog that I probably won't actually post, but felt like I had to do something while I was in the process of getting everything in the storage unit. But I went to see Lupin the Third the First, and I recorded a video on that. So I don't know when that's going to come out. I did. I went to see it with my friend who interned at DreamWorks because I thought that would be interesting.
Oh, okay, cool.
And
I was worried you were talking about that friend in the industry kind of thing.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if you would actually got around to doing that.
Yeah, I made sure. It's funny. He just flew back from Atlanta or someplace the day before I took him to go see it. And the first thing he did when he got in the car is he handed me a piece of paper that was his negative COVID test to show me that he got tested. He's been tested like 8 times.
I haven't been tested once.
Right. Oh, really? Never been tested.
I'm basically in quarantine like for a week at a time, and I go home for like 2 days.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So I hardly ever see anybody anyway.
The fact that we're already 12 minutes into this and I haven't gotten through the Patreon showing. So also there's the Anime Collector Patreon, which is doing well. Thank you all who contribute. And then of course there's Stealth Weeb. By the way, I regarding the Demon Slayer merch that I took off the store, I ordered a color swatch today. And in the corner, I put both designs really small so that I could test those colors when I get it. And I'll be getting those back up on the site very soon. As soon as I get the color swatch so I can accurately depict the proper colors, because it's printing on a different fabric than the shirts are. Anyway, so that'll be in the near future. And FDM, you were asking me if there was a particular thing I wanted to promote?
Yeah.
Kind of hard to choose.
The fun shit one.
Yeah, fun shit.
Okay.
Are you planning to buy one to wear?
Not quite.
I look for a friend. So I had some good.
Go to the sugar one.
Yeah, I like the sugar.
Fun shit or sugar?
The problem with the sugar one though is that I can't wear white because I will stain it immediately. Anyway, so I've got a couple more designs, but boy, do I not have any time. My new job is 10 to 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, and it doesn't have breaks or lunch. I eat in the car. In case you're wondering, I clean trash cans now, which sounds horrible, but is actually weirdly rewarding. And the thing is that we actually follow the trash truck schedule, but a day late. So the trash cans are already empty for the most part. And if they're not empty, we don't clean them. And one of our rules is that we don't clean them if there's dead animals or live animals in them. And the other day,
animals.
Yeah, like if you open it and there's a rat in there, because we have to do something with it, right? Mostly the dead animals, because you don't want to put it in the truck. What's up? Is that's cookies? I don't want those. Get out of here with your cookies. Would you like? Never mind, I finished it already.
Are you a monster?
Am I a monster?
Why would you offer me something I want without?
You can have this. You can have my Speed Racer beer that I didn't finish. Yeah, it's pretty bad. There's 5 more in the freezer downstairs. You know, the freezer that's almost as cold as a fridge.
No, thank you.
Anyway, so yeah, it's an interesting job, and I'm working with. It's kind of a weird situation, but I'm working with the tenants of my in-laws who own another house that these people are staying in, and it's a really interesting job because I'm working with the owner. Who bought it? How long ago did he buy it? Do you think the business?
I'm not sure.
5 years ago or less? What do you think? 3? I don't know. A couple of years ago. Anyway, so it's been really interesting because I'm working with an entrepreneur and I'm learning a lot of interesting stuff. And the job, for the most part, is really cool because funny thing about cleaning trash cans is when you're a monthly trash can, like your can gets cleaned monthly, it stays pretty damn clean. It literally takes us about 1 minute to jump off the truck and get those cans cleaned and then move on to the next one, which is why we service about 150 cans a day. Anyway, it's an interesting job. I know it sounds kind of weird, but back to the news here. So last podcast, when I jumped in briefly at the beginning, which I admit felt like it came off kind of cringe, but that was actually just a stress test of the internet. But it got me thinking about the Funimation weirdos. By the way, wife who's sitting next to me, these are here, and the case was left open, so they probably are dead. But if you wanted to, can you connect 2 AirPods to one device? Go that for me, because if you want to be a part of this, I would love to invite you. Anyway, all right. Anyway, so it got me thinking about Sarah Weidenhef's brother, and I reached out to Larkus to find out if we ever got confirmation on that thing where he hadn't actually registered as a sex offender, and he did. Bradley Joseph Weidenhef was registered as a sex offender for possession of sexual performance of a child × 2, which is weird because I'm pretty sure, as Larkus here said, or Lacus, oh my God, there's no R there, that it was actually supposed to be 4. So that was a thing. Now, also, I want to talk to you about the umbrella policy for Allstate covering lawsuits.
Oh, I thought you meant Umbrella, Resident Evil.
And the Umbrella Corp?
Does an umbrella policy cover libel or slander? Why is this important, you might ask? Because one Ron Toye has been talking about how they're paying for their lawsuit with Vic Mignogna through their insurance. Well, it's funny when you read the fine details on the website, because we found out it was an Allstate account through the DMs. What type of defamation is not covered by a personal umbrella policy? You intentionally make a false comment or statement that defames someone else. So I can't wait for that audit.
Insurance fraud or something?
Yeah. Continuing. One Ron Toye is completely unhinged. He says, so the person in Kiwi Farms who was driving by my house, we have multiple cameras, including a Ring doorbell. You messed up, and you will learn soon enough. Picture of a car. Now, continuing with this trend of lunacy, they think it is a game. Nick thinks it is a game. They will learn the hard way that it isn't. It's just sad that they can't move on. Pot meat kettle. Right? After watching Vic Mignogna pick his nose and eat it, I realized I was dealing with a child and moved on. They should too. I want to immortalize this tweet on the podcast so that I can easily reference back to it the next time he goes on a tirade and posts the same 4 pictures in comments that happen to mention Vic Mignogna or anybody with the name Mignogna. Could be literally anyone because he's just searching it all day. I feel like I'm always aware when Toye's on the toilet because my phone starts beeping like crazy with notifications. But here's the thing. You shouldn't quote tweet Ron Toye. And definitely don't tweet at Yellow Flash and that umbrella guy who follows me. Thank you. I'm amazing. Yes. Because Ron Toye will quote tweet you and accuse you, Neo White Tiger. Damn it, I gotta actually click on the profile for you to see it. God damn it. Texas, USA, right? He will accuse you. Interesting that this person from Texas tags these 2 clowns. They will learn this isn't a game. You know who he sounds like to me? He's putting them on notice.
Oh, God.
Now, I'll show you guys.
You know
so
the little. I'm sorry.
Right?
I was saying. You
No,
know
no,
the little the number bar for the money tweet or the money comment. I can't think of the name right now. The little bit. It's not even like a quarter of the way through being finished. Over the chat, super chat.
Yeah.
That's like a.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Thank you so much, Greenline 743. God damn.
So Random 11 asks, "Yo, what's up with the random Sunday stream?" This is our new time.
Yeah, it's not just random. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So my days off are Sunday and Monday. Now, granted, I have to work this out, but it probably would be significantly better to do a middle of the day stream. Haven't completely because the thing is, I have to be up at 4:30 in the morning for my new job, and hold on, this feels weird. I have to be up at 4:30 in the morning for my new job, so having Monday off means I can stream on Monday. I could do a podcast, but I'd have to be like in bed by like 8 p.m. right at the latest, basically. So I think it legitimately would be better to do the podcast Monday afternoon, but I don't know. Like, is Sunday stupidly late at night better for people than like who have to go to work on Monday, or is doing it while they're at work on Monday better? You know, so we're still kind of working this out. Obviously, if we continue to do it on Monday, Augie can't join us because he's got church and nuns to visit, which is a joke I'm going to keep making until Augie's back on the podcast.
Oh God, this should be a long joke, isn't it?
Anyway, yeah, so that's what's up with the random Sunday stream. So getting back to it, because we're making terrible time for the fact that we haven't gotten through the opening discussions. But yeah, so allow me to show you the dreadful photo that Ron Toye is talking about. Okay. I'm gonna give you a moment to guess which house in this photo belongs to Ron Toye. Is
I
it
see the
this
one
one
on
down
the
the
right.
street? It is the one on the right. Were you guessing by the very likely Biden signs hiding out back there?
Maybe.
Yes. So this house that is not even a third of the way into the photo. If anything, you would have to argue that the person who took this photo was taking a picture of this house, or more realistically, this photo of the
White sign.
sign.
Yeah.
So this indicates that Ron Toye is selling his house, and the fact that he's lashing out at potential buyers is alarming. Although apparently, I mean, to his credit, they must have posted this on Kiwi Farms or something for that to have ended up, on his radar or on this side. I don't understand. So this person makes a very poignant point here when they say, imagine calling the cops because of, quote, a stalker took a photo of your house. Cops arrive, and then you show them this photo. Police. Sir, this is a picture of the sign in your front yard and the sidewalk. Ron. No, don't you see? My house is on the photo. This is a picture of my home. Cops. Oh, so you own the one over to the left? Ron. No, to the right, there. The small bit of roof sticking out with the lamppost. Police. So this man, has he been here before? Ron. No, I don't know. Never seen him before or the car.
Was he just passing through?
Imagine this being the conversation. In fairness here, the image is an image of a sign in the front yard. In fact, that any bit of his house is in the image appears entirely accidental. It was even the trees in the front there and the lamp that was used to tenuously tie the two together. You see more of his neighbor's house than you do of his. At Ron Toye, why are you like this? This could have flown semi under the radar as a maybe confirmation of your home being for sale, but no, you straight up confirm it on your Twitter. You are legit one of my favorite lolcows. So to illustrate my point further to Ron, that above is a picture of the sign in your front yard. The sign is clearly the focus of the photo. Down below, however, are photos of your home. You will never get me, Ronnie. Me, the one and only Mick Ricada. So, yes, not that we didn't know this already, and I think possibly even on stream had pulled up Google Earth. I don't think we did that on stream, actually. I did that. I wanted to see what it looked like because I saw it in the old docs. So this is the braggadocious Ron's abode.
That's a tiny
Is this
house.
where the twins stayed? Did they actually turn their garage into a home with a little front door? That's adorable. I think this is where the Oak twins survived the beatings from Ron. Allegedly. All right. Anyway, moving on. So we've got so much to cover. Let's start with coronavirus news. Population aging in Japan
Sorry.
Corona boost as pregnancies drop by 11% this year. Let's see. I did highlight stuff. Good. To put it in terms of people, as of this writing, COVID-19 has claimed a total of 1,679 lives in Japan. But during that 3-month period, there were 26,331 fewer births. In Japan, it's a particular problem as the country is already struggling with the most lopsidedly aged population in the world, with persons in healthcare systems approaching critical mass. Assuming that COVID-19 really is the cause for most of these no-show pregnancies, the silver lining is that many parents-to-be are likely just waiting until the situation improves before taking the plunge. This means we should expect a slight spike in Japanese pregnancies in the near future, but probably not a full-on baby boom. It would be more like a baby burp. Let's see if that happens. Now, continuing tangentially to this topic a little further, 1 in 4 Japanese women, I'm going to say are now over 70. That seems weird to say is there. The overall population of Japanese people over the age of 65 has swelled by 300,000 this year to a record high of 36.17 million. To put that in context, That's about 1 million shy of the entire population of Canada and accounts for about 28.7% of the Japanese population. You hear that, FDM?
Yeah,
That means
we have a small
that
population.
your country could be taken over
By all the elders?
simply by elderly Japanese women if they felt inclined to cross,
The
a
ocean?
small ocean between.
Oh no, the Obasa.
Well, to be fair, there's plenty of room for them because, like, all of us live at the south of Canada, so they can have the north.
Yeah, so they'll
Speaking
over
of
there.
speaking of latitude, longitude, FDNM, do you have snow yet?
No.
We got snow today.
Well, sucks to be you.
Right?
Global warming, who knew? Julie, why are you frozen?
Oh no.
You look like me when the stream started. Julie's rotating her camera in Dragon Age and her character's not moving. It's like in mid-run cycle. Anyway, a Japanese woman is now more than twice as likely to be over 70 than she is to be left-handed. That's it. That's all I'm sharing here. Also, more news about coronavirus. The United Kingdom has 1,000+ AI cameras checking for adequate social distance. So here's our social dystopia news. It was divulged that various cities across the United Kingdom contain sensors able to detect the distance between people captured by the devices, which then determine if they are adequately adhering to the ever-invasive social distancing rules. While the sensors were made by Vivacity, how would you guys pronounce this? Vivacity, that's how I'm going to go with that. Made by
Which one is
Vivacity
it?
with the intent, right here. Vivacity.
Vivacity.
I like Vivacity. This is
Whatever.
yes. I think we should go with Vivacity. All right. With the intent to monitor the flow of traffic and the use of roads, the AI scanners have since been upgraded to detect the distance between those captured on film. Vivacity clarified that there are over 1,000 sensors installed across cities such as London, Oxford, Cambridge, and Nottingham. The UK government is handed the data of these sensors once a month. Vivacity's chief operating officer, Peter Milden, has been explaining the data offered through these sensors. Has been explaining that the data offered through these sensors is useful for informing policy decisions, for lockdown measures, and that they are not CCTV. Right. They don't need to be closed circuit television because they're. Why would that matter? Like, why would that matter at all? I don't understand. So you're just saying that the sensors aren't actually cameras. Well, then, this photo, weirdly, is this supposed to be like a phone one? Like, because it's like, anyway, it's you picked wrong. How dare you not have adequate representation of sensors for social distancing in your archive of anime pics? They are not recording any footage. They are not streaming any footage, and no one is actually watching it. We trained an algorithm to be able to recognize what a pedestrian looks like as opposed to a cyclist or a van or a truck. Milden elaborated further how this invasion of privacy is key to determining what sort of rules should be enforced. We developed an addition to our sensors that was not just looking at the paths pedestrians were taking, but if pedestrians came within 2 meters of another, then we will count that as one. And if they don't come within 2 meters of another, then we will count that as a different one. We're creating a set of statistics on how behavior is changing in terms of how people are staying close together or apart. And it is that data that is useful for informing policy decisions on whether there should be a 2 meter rule or a 1 meter plus rule, or whether local lockdown measures are having an impact they are envisioned to. Even if Kent Council wanted to use them for enforcement policies, they wouldn't be able to. The cameras enable us to provide anonymous data on how the road is being used. There are huge benefits in understanding how that space is being used and how that can be improved or how it can be made safer. The idea is to provide an evidence base to check that the interventions that are being put in and are having the policy benefits that the council envisioned in the first place. Okay, so you know what this sounds like to me? Do you guys remember? So Facebook. Do you know that Facebook created, or at least took advantage of those change your avatar to have this border or whatever? That they created that in order to track how long people cared about any given political or social issue, right? So when you changed your avatar and added like the rainbow flag or Black Lives Matter or whatever to it,
the French
Facebook
flag.
Yes, exactly. That was one specific one. Facebook checked that data that you did that. Like they put a stopwatch started at that point, and then they checked how long it took for you to change your avatar to something else, and they registered that all together with every user to find out what the average length that a person would remain outraged or what's the word? I don't want to say radicalized, but activated, like politically activated on any given issue. And of course, they're using that data to find out when the best time is for your October surprise or your or how long you have to wait for your scandal to not mean anything anymore. Like, how long does it take before...
And with that when they can throw out there something new.
Sure. And it's like it's a system of control to control the narrative, so to speak, because when you control what people are talking about, you're controlling what they're thinking about, right? And if you can make salacious things that preoccupy people, then they're even if they don't want to be thinking about it, that's what everybody else is talking about, and you can't avoid. You know what I mean? So anyway, this is I see this as a dangerous measuring tool right now to measure how much force it requires from government officials for you to do what they tell you to do when they're supposedly not watching. And how many people, like they'll take the polling data that says I stand 6 feet away from people, and then they'll relate that to, do you actually, like, judging by the 1,000+ cameras, right? And all that stuff. So that's kind of how I see this. The UK is lost. America is still amazing. Australia is gone.
Australia's died. USA.
I didn't even mean to wear this shirt. Anyway, those are my thoughts on it. Let me see what we got here. Let me see what we've got here in terms of chats, because there's a lot.
There's a lot, yeah.
Old man removed a baby possum from a trash can a few months ago. He was stuck and couldn't climb out. I removed a praying mantis from a trash can a couple days ago. He was also
stuck. Is that considered living?
Well, we didn't. We just moved him onto the grass because he's good at keeping the bugs. I'll tell you this much. I think I have seen more black widows in the last week than my entire life combined.
Wow.
Also, I tipped it over in here. You tipped the possum over. Not the trash can.
Oh, the baby.
All right. Does Ron know the car is a stalker? See, when you're Ron, you know everything, and you certainly aren't a paranoid delusion. Random Sunday. Tough call on the podcast. It goes to 6 a.m. on a Sunday. Yes. Or while I work. Yes, I know. Honestly, see, here's a problem. Where I used to work, I used to have when I wasn't doing overtime, 4 days off, right? Also, amazingly, after I'm forced out of that place, $3 an hour plus bonus incentive implemented, and 7 of the managers quit. So that was, my opportunity to move up in the world completely slammed down, and now I clean trash cans and trying to smile about it. Oh shoot, Greenland's
I
you don't have a.
It's already taken care of.
You got. All right, thank you.
You're gonna have to give him or give. I don't even know Greenline. Give Greenline the patron role or whatever to get in that.
Yes, I will. I will get you on that. Yes. All right, I'm just catching up real quick. Just moving past that.
Monica does not spell Ron.
I got it. I got the reference. I got it. Okay. Yeah, so exactly. It's supposed to do that. It's supposed to do that. I don't know why it doesn't. Also, hey, Kaiser Trigger. Cameras are being chipped at least. I'll agree with you there. I was a little perturbed to hear Trump say in the debates that the vaccines are going to be rolled out by the military. that was a little weird, especially after reading that the vaccines are both being tested on children, and the one in Brazil tested on the guy. The guy died, and they're like, "Yeah, we're going to move forward with it anyway." So that's fun. Either way, every country is trying to induce the might of Big Brother, or as I call him, Oni-chan.
So that's what they mean when they say I'm not into the Big Brother complex.
Oni-chan is watching me pee. I can't say no.
You've made our apocalyptic future dystopia more bearable.
At least kind of cute.
Yeah, so Old Man says Big Brother's facial recognition camera system no longer works because everybody is wearing masks, except for the idiots who are still taking photos with their masks on and their mask selfies and sharing them on Facebook and tagging themselves. Yes. Yes, the media does love to overhype the virus still. I remember when
it's
articles
not really
were
that exciting. I don't know what the whole hype is about.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Worst pandemic ever.
My life has not actually changed that much. as a professional NEET,
Exactly.
things haven't changed much.
Hashtag best waifu ever.
All right. Apparently, I'm all the way into right. Oh yes, that's what this is about. Kickstarter. Okay. So I'm gonna let you take this one away, Reese. Let me agree.
I think we're just found one. I think I got one more thing unlocked. Scroll down. Oh,
okay. That's what we're looking at. Yeah. Just for the clarification, I have not watched any of the podcasts from the last month and a half because I'm in my rewatch of the old podcasts.
Blasphemy. Okay, so they unlocked this last one, and they unlocked this last level, and these end on the 31st. The pre-orders for this set will end on the 31st. So this is probably... I
can't afford it, and will not be buying it, unfortunately.
So the pre-orders for this will cut off. And then I'm sure they'll make like a standard set later.
Oh, that's fantastic. We got the Spanish audio track. That's so great. I'm so glad that was included.
So I kind of doubt they're gonna unlock another one unless somebody decides to buy like 15. Or so.
They definitely shouldn't have put Spanish audio track as the one for 1,500 because all those wealthy Spanish weebs in Mexico who are also Region 1 would have totally taken this over.
Right.
Anyway,
Moving on.
Moving on. So we got some Kickstarter news. Apparently, the Emma art boxes have arrived. Is this a video we should watch?
It's you can just scroll down, just look and see it.
Demonstration.
It's kind of neat looking, I guess. I mean,
Okay. That grossly overpowers the image that's inside of it. So look at this.
the spine looks good though.
Look at this. Does that not grossly overpower? That image is so desaturated that it looks like I printed it out on printer paper instead of photo paper.
All looks the same to me at 1080p.
Yeah. And the spine actually looks pretty good on the art box. It's not.
Well, we'll see it in a second, I'm sure. It looks like the way it's written, it looks like a really fancy, what are those books called? Dude, what's the fancy term for romance novel?
Novella? No.
No, not a novella. What's the really fancy old timey way
Otome?
of saying?
Oh.
Erotic novels?
So
I have no idea.
So in
Careful
Minecraft,
there, Reese. You may have just pissed off some erotic novel fans.
Uh-oh.
in Minecraft, in a certain update, they added. So, like, you know how in Minecraft when you unlock like achievements, or what they call them, advancements now. So, like, when you punch wood, it says like got wood in the corner or whatever, right? And they added this thing. No, it's crafting recipes. It's not. Forget everything I just said about advancements. They added when you get certain items, you unlock like crafting recipes, and so they made an item that looks just like the book item, except it's green, right? So it's distinguishedly different, and you can summon that item into the game using commands with different values on it, so that you can, for map making and whatever, you can give people items, a book item that once they right click it, it teaches them a technique or whatever, right, for crafting, right? So that they can unlock it for the sake of progressing further in the game, because you can make custom ones to make custom items and stuff, right? Anyway, because that's an item, because that's an item that is different from the normal book. On my server at my base, hidden like all across the server, I have books that are named as, like, I forget the name of them, but like it's basically romance novels. So I have like The Stranger in My Boudoir, like so like when you in Minecraft, when you mouse over an item frame with an item in it, it tells you the item name. Anyway, that was a long drawn out thing.
When you Minecraft yourself in Minecraft.
That's what this reminds me of. The green books on my server is what I'm trying to get at.
I'm looking at Power Thesaurus, and I'm looking at romance novel, and it's got similar meaning, 35. Like romantic novel, love story, and you got affair, romancing, fling, fiction, hallmark moment, love affair, liaison, storybook, telenovela, that's pretty good. Penny novella.
I'm going to check the comments before somebody else is. All right. Lance is here. Bitches.
Hey, Lance.
Bitches. Oh, thank you.
Augie is not here, improper due to the early work week, and definitely not the nuns who have locked him in the cellar of the church.
Night. I think it's mad.
I bet you he's at the beginning of the podcast right now and just typing it out to leave.
Well, no, he'd be watching it live.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, all right. So that's what the green book reminds me of. It's not a terrible looking spine.
I mean, it's not flipped the wrong way like the mock-up for the Tyler set.
Oh, I thought. Sorry, my wife just pointed me off to some burning effigy. It says champion. I thought that said champions of the Jesus. Okay. All right. Anyway. Okay. So yes, they're nice. They're nice. We're moving on. So, Island of Giant Insects, dubbed and uncensored.
Dubbed censored.
About the classroom scene. We've had a few requests about the classroom scene, a limited exclusive scene for the OVA that came attached to the manga. This scene is not included in any other place, and although the production team has tried to include it in the English dubbed version Blu-ray, this was not possible.
Aww.
One, it has been excluded from the theater version as well, which the current production is based on, so it is technically difficult to merge the two in terms of audio balance and other technical issues. 2, the original creators have asked us not to have this scene included. I like how they had to give you both of those reasons. As if that one wasn't good enough. Like, sorry, we tried. They said no. We are sorry we could not meet this request, but we hope you will accept our effort and apology. So that's a shame. Also, here's a Kickstarter nobody cares about. 2020 new anime making system project, a music video project that pays animators fairly and strives for a better work environment in the anime industry. I don't know how you think you're going to do that, but 918 backers fell for your grift.
And they already funded it in 3 days. Wow.
Yeah, like, and the tiers are kind of, yeah, you can give them $10, you give them $5, $29, $144, $287, or you could just go crazy. $956, $2,860. Like, you could just go crazy.
$500,000. Who would pay 500?
Yeah, 500,000 yen. Hey, collectors, you're a collector, aren't you?
Oh,
here's the thing:
right.
all you get are keyframe collections.
That's like what, $5,000?
Yeah, seriously. Oh, don't worry. You could be the otaku king for 1,000,000 yen.
1,000,000.
What a joke. Yeah. I love this. Hey, help us support to pay animators fairly by you funding their entire life, right? Anyway.
We need to answer Old Man's question.
Oh, what's his question?
What are the nuns doing to poor Augie while he's locked in the cellar? That needs to be a new chapter.
Unspeakable things.
That needs to be a chapter
in Attack on Titan.
And no.
That's what they find in the basement. They just find Augie.
What was our new title for the second book in our Once Cooked on Another Planet trilogy?
Across.
Once. Oh no, God! I know it. Once Crouched on Another Planet. Or once. What was it?
No, we had a different one. All right. I silently shared my thoughts.
This is gonna be a trilogy, by the way.
Yes. No, seriously. I'm telling you right now. I want nothing. First of all, that super chat is still there.
Right? That's amazing.
It's such a powerful super chat that it's just staying.
It's up for an hour. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So, but here's the thing. I want so desperately to go on Fiverr and find somebody who's like, you know, they live in Indonesia or whatever. They have the artistic talent of somebody out here, you know, who gets paid $4,000 for this. But for $40 or, you know, $140 maybe, which would feed them for a year, right? They are willing to animate, you know, Draw My Lives or whatever. And I just want to send them the audio from the clip where I read that erotic novel. See what they come up with.
You gotta read it now, sounding like what's his name, Richard Attenborough or whatever. David Attenborough. You know you gotta read it in like that tone of voice, like the English professor.
I mean, if we get a couple more donations, let's see, we just hire some voice actors. We could get JT Master to play his own character. I don't think we gave them any audio, like any dialogue, though. I don't recall. Anyway, the event.
We got a couple of quick chats.
Okay. 99% of the time,
99%.
Goodwill is all it takes to save the anime industry, and don't realize when someone is scamming them. Yeah, well, that's definitely part of it, as we have covered numerous times on the podcast. I remember that one guy.
The Kickstarter?
The Kickstarter is closed, but I will open that tab. Command-Shift-T.
Command-Shift-T.
See, the thing is that my T key like double types. So there we go. 2020 new anime making system project. There's no DVD or Blu-ray tiers, so who cares?
Because I remember insert my favoriteest AniTuber here talking about I think it was like the what is it?
Geoff?
That dormitory project or whatever. They're like, yeah, we raised infinite dollars. Isn't this great? And I'm like, I mean, you're kind of just scraping by. I thought that a lot of people left Trigger because it wasn't sustainable.
No, but seriously, think about that for a second. So you've got this dormitory project, and it's like, so okay, it's kind of like when because of my new job, I'm in a truck all day. Well, not all day, but like for a long stints of time. And you got the radio on, right? And I hear these commercials and things where, congratulations, we're going to cover your grocery expenses for an entire month, right? And it's like, okay, so the system is so broken that you're barely scraping by as an animator in Japan. But don't worry, here's a big lump sum of cash to get you through the weekend, like kind of thing. It's like, yes, this is going to make all the difference in the world. Foreign donations, that's how we're going to do it. We're just going to sit on the side of the road like a homeless person with a cardboard sign begging you to give us money because our system is so broken, and we're just going to prolong how long it takes for the system to completely collapse before it can rebuild as a structure that will last into eons in the future or whatever. So yeah, it's just I find it funny, the what's the word I'm looking for, the altruism of that type, right? Anyway, continuing here, Netflix announces new partnership with NAZ, Science Art, Mappa, and Studio Mirror. So what is NAZ?
NAZ.
Oh, joy.
Not a
joy.
zebra.
ID invaded Japan since 2020. Yuri on Ice, The Legend of Korra Studios enter partnerships.
Okay, Yuri on Ice is Mappa.
Yeah.
It could have been a collab.
So when I first read it, before I got to the end of it, I thought that they were going to make, because I thought ID invaded in Japan since 2020 were Netflix originals or something. And I thought that they were going to make a sequel to Yuri on Ice that was going to be a Netflix original.
No.
All right, I'm glad to finish having read that sentence. Anyway, anything interesting in this article that I didn't add to the doc that I presume RHYS did?
Not really. I mean,
okay,
like they partnered with a couple other studios and just making more anime Netflix original.
It's funny. It's almost like at the end of MFKZ when an entire wall of studio collaborators came up because anime isn't made at one place. Viz Media's website removes free anime video. How dare they? Company's website now directs viewers to watch anime on other streaming platforms. Gasp. Such as Crunchyroll, Funimation, Hulu, and Netflix. Damn. They removed their free Hulu embedded streams of anime episodes.
Like, not, I mean, they could at least leave like the first 2 episodes as like sample episodes.
Well, Viz previously offered free streams via Hulu for several of its licensed anime, including Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, Naruto, One Punch Man, Bleach, Sailor Moon, Hunter x Hunter, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Death Note, Inuyasha, and Ranma. I'm sorry. Can you tell me how it's called once more, FDM? Because I've been rewatching the podcast and can never
Ranma
seem
one
to get
half.
it is one. That's what I said. That's
No,
what
you said Ranma half.
I call it Ranma half.
I've always called it one half, and then somebody, presumably Augie, claimed that I was saying it wrong because it implied it was 1 and a half, and I was like, no, that's not how that works.
I remember you saying Ranma half, and then being corrected to it's Ranma 1/2.
Yes,
unless you're referring to
me after somebody else previously corrected me.
I always called it Ranma half.
I've always hated the term half. Anyway, all right. Moving on from there. See, the thing is that I've been time-stamping key moments in the podcast, namely every single time Augie can't pronounce a show. And I'll just say the list is thousands long now. That supercut video is going to be quite funny. But yeah, it's like there's all these things that now that I'm 34 or so, 40 something episodes into the rewatch, I need to go back and rewatch again because there's all this new stuff. Like, yeah, I should have been time stamping that too.
I should have been paying attention to this kind of tick.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm just gonna message the room. There you go. Sent. Netflix, Twitch, more platforms available on PS5 launch, to the surprise of pretty much no one.
Mm.
Do you expect Netflix to not be on PS5 launch?
Yeah. Amazon Prime or Amazon Video is not going to be there.
To be fair, Netflix wasn't on the Switch when it launched.
It says they're going to arrive later for Amazon Prime Video and Hulu.
Yeah.
Continuing.
But not at launch.
I intended to read all the articles that you added, but I didn't. So I'm sorry about that.
Oh.
Quibi streaming service shuts down. I mean, I intended to read them before the podcast, so I would actually have something to say, but now it's just awkward. Quibi streaming service shuts down.
Who actually used it?
Oh my God, we talked about this. I recently rewatched the podcast where we talked about this. Is the horror service, right? They was making the live action adaptation of Junji Ito's Tomie. Yes, it all comes back now. The Quibi video streaming platform confirmed on Wednesday that it will shut down, only 7 months after its launch. Quibi founder Jeffrey Katzenberg and CEO Meg Whitman announced the shutdown during an investor conference call on Wednesday, but did not give a date for the shutdown. Well, I'll tell you so much right now. Coronavirus. That's what it is. Surely this was going to be successful before they couldn't film any of the videos. This was, if you guys recall, this was the horror streaming service that they were making. They were like making indie horror films to put on, I believe. I'm probably wrong about that. But they had recently greenlit a live action series of Junji Ito's Tomie manga starring Adeline Rudolph, with episodes that were planned to be less than 10 minutes long. You know, so you can watch them on the toilet at work. Quibi, short for Quick Bites. Yeah, great. Quibi? Am I pronouncing it wrong? Described itself as coming from Hollywood and Silicon Valley, two places that definitely aren't cesspools of awful, stating that it streams quick bites of captivating entertainment created for mobile by the best.
Don't you guys have phones?
My eyes darted ahead, and I read that as created for mobile by the toilet. I was thinking like when you're on the... Anyway. Designed to fit perfectly into any moment of your day. The platform launched in North America on April 6th. Jeffrey Katzenberg, co-founder of DreamWorks Animation, partnered with former eBay CEO Meg Whitman to launch the service. Right, because that makes sense. What, were they going to sell them to you? Were you going to auction off the 10-minute episodes? All right, continuing here. Sentai Filmworks licenses Killing Bites anime for streaming on Amazon Prime Video.
No, it has been streaming on Amazon. Sentai licensed it for home video release, which is why I had it in the release.
Because it's like, why is it so
Amazon
soon?
The Amazon was a note to myself. Oh, why is this important?
I'll do you a solid, and we'll talk about it here. All right. Streaming news here. One of manga and anime's greatest love stories is the highlight of Norah Jones' new music video. Spoiler alert. It's a motion
comic at all
of Meizan Ikoku. It tells you the entire story from chapter 1 to the
chapter
final
last.
And it's only in Japanese. The song is just any random ass Norah Jones sounding song. And you sit here going, wow. So this is how you make a music video during coronavirus. When you can't film people and have a film crew 6 foot away from everybody at all times. So yeah, there you go. And there's spoilers in the music video, so don't watch it. Also, Japanese theaters welcomed Thomas the Tank Engine's newest train, a Japanese Shinkansen, in 2021. So I want to know, what is this guy's name? Spring 2021 heralds the Japanese theatrical release of a Thomas movie starring a Japanese bullet train. Can you imagine? Think about that for a second. Oh, seriously. Think about that. American kids at I don't know what generation grew up with Thomas the Tank Engine.
I did.
Japan has Shinkalyan, which presumably is significantly cooler. And then imagine, let me think about this. What's a good way to... What's a really action-packed... Okay, Batman, the animated series, for example. That's like growing up watching Batman the animated series, right? And let's say you're 8 or whatever, you're watching Batman the animated series, and then a foreign movie comes out, and it's basically like, I don't want to say SpongeBob, something like absurdly like Caillou. Caillou comes to the theaters, right? That's what this feels like to me. I can't imagine kids in Japan are thrilled to see this, other than, oh, look, Japanese representation on screen through Japanese trains.
His name is Koichi.
Koichi?
I just gave it the name.
Oh,
the old stuff looks so much better. Look at that. I mean, they actually use models.
They're trash. This
looks like ass. The old stuff looks
figures
good.
are so universally loved as Thomas the Tank Engine, the little blue engine with a perpetual smile and a host of speedy adventures set on the island of Sodor, his fictional home. It's fictional?
No, really?
You'd think that Thomas, being a train, might be confined to Sodor's rails for the rest of his natural life. But that's where you'd be wrong. Thomas has already ventured to many distant shores, and as the series has progressed, he's gained a whole host of fun international friend engines. Cringe. To pal around with. Oh God. One of these pals is Hero. Oh, there you go. One of the oldest engines on Sodor. Why? No. He was imported to the island long ago and is one of the first ever trains used there, which caused Thomas to worry that Hero might be bound for the scrapyard if the Fat Controller were to find him in his current state of disrepair. Hero, the Black Engine, first popped up in 2009. Hero of the Rail.
What does black have to do with any of this?
He's big and black and really, really long.
And hard.
Hard.
Hero, oh God. Hero cuts a fairly tragic figure. See, yeah, it's Kenji. It's just weird that Hero also has a Japanese-ish name.
HIRO.
HIRO. Hirokut's a fairly tragic figure for a train, and thus has a good share of fans. Okay, especially in his native Japan. Okay, so he is a Japanese engine. Spring 2021 will see the Japanese theatrical release of 4 episodes of Thomas and Friends that aired in 2020, starring Hiro, as well as an exciting new engine with serious need for speed. Something about that face. Why is it slightly yellower than the rest?
Because it's slightly more representative than the rest.
Yeah. Kenji is a Zero Series Shinkansen bullet train, famously one of the fastest types of train in the world, and much faster than Thomas and his steam-powered engine buddies. How will everything shake out at Sodor's Technology Fair? And will Kenji's electrical power steal the spotlight? Yes. The 4 episodes make up an arc that will translate easily to the big screen. And now, train enthusiasts of all ages will be able to enjoy Kenji's high-octane antics in his home country at last. See, they say it's going to translate well to the big screen, but I imagine, are they going to upscale it?
It looks like ass on a small screen.
It looks like ass on a small screen. I can't imagine that it's going to have higher fidelity on a big screen. The movie's official Twitter announced Kenji's arrival alongside a brief synopsis of the theatrical release titled Kikancha, Thomas Oide, yo! Mirai no Hatsume show. Come on, there's a future invention show. Oh. How come he's not yellow now? Something that cracks me up. I don't know what it is about. It looks like a completely different face. Okay. The tweet received plenty of attention, with 24.8 thousand retweets at the time of writing, and many people were delighted to see his bullet train buddy in action. I can't help but notice he's facing the camera.
I don't like that they got the Discord sparkle emotes on it.
Yeah. He's powered by Japanese spirit. I can't wait to see him as my icon. Use him as my icon. Kenji is a handsome fellow, but I don't see too many Japanese men out there with a face as distinctive as his. Oh, fuck. I have to work this into the thumbnail somehow.
I'm glad I threw that in there just to.
Yeah. So here's the problem.
What the fuck?
I'm the only one with face cam. Also, we didn't do pickups. Would you guys like to do some pickups? Oh dear, dear Lord! What was this thing I just see? One of the episodes is going to be about the big black train being too big to fit in a tunnel. FTM, would you like to share whatever that was, that amazing thing you just
it's not ready yet, but one sec.
What if you share it with the class? What have you been working on this whole time? His device is not connected.
What?
His devices got disconnected a second ago.
That's because I changed the device, but it seems to be making everything worse. Actually, no. I think I got it. Camera not available.
Do you guys want to see my pickups? And by pickups, I mean stuff that didn't get packed away the same way as everything else because they were stuck in my mailbox for too long.
Shit. We're finally getting closure on the mailbox. Nice.
Dragon of Doom. Steelbook.
The picture quality is actually doing better justice to that cover.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that I can't see Sakura quite easily on the back because of the thing they put on so you could read through it. My wife is not amused. Promare. What do you call this? LE.
Yeah. Collector's edition.
You know, I think I might need to get a replacement because I am seeing now that my Digipack, which you won't be able to see here,
is bent.
creased.
Yeah, mine was too.
Like unbelievably horribly. Like what the fuck? Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. I'm just gonna go through it real quick. So, Goemon's Blood Spray, Fujiko's Lie, Kite on Blu-ray. Apparently, I don't remember why I got
Apparently,
that.
they didn't re-release
Kite
it enough.
Liberator also on Blu-ray, even though I don't think I ever need to see that one again. Lupin: The Last Job, which presumably is a better special than Hunter x Hunter: The Last Mission.
It's all right.
Ninja Scroll, the movie, which I would love to rewatch. Still have not found my Blu-ray player, by the way. The Pursuit of Harumao's Treasure. Great job pronouncing that last time I heard you say it, Reese.
Harumao?
Harumao?
Harumao? I don't know.
Hairy Mouth.
I'll have to watch it. I haven't watched the English dub for that yet.
Cleopatra. Queen of Sex. Kind of surprised they didn't include that on here, subtitle. I wonder what the nip count is at the end. We better get on that.
I'd have to own it.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of. So my collection wound up in 83.15 boxes. So there's a bunch of stuff that I have in here. I picked up The Jungle Book and Friends, which apparently shows me that Cinderella and The Legend of Snow White are owned in part by Mill Creek. Also, Simba the Lion King.
More like Simp the Lion King.
And I, in order to put one thing in a box, I took out Young Blackjack as something that I would have to be able to watch. Also, Goemon's Blood Spray on Blu-ray. Lupin the Third, Part 2, Collection 4. And
I'm going to say that $100 super chat, the little icon thing, disappeared before the hour. So
Rip off.
It's not an hour.
We'll have to refund him.
Well, keep in mind, are you looking at it through the StreamYard one or through the YouTube one?
Yeah, I'm looking at the StreamYard. It's had that little icon thing.
The StreamYard one might have its own time. Might have its own incremental time thing. I don't know. Anyway, that was my pickups. Foot and do you have anything you would like to
let's
share
see.
With
Let's go into RHYS because I gotta prepare my camera.
Yes, let's go on to the non-camera guy.
Let's go back to me because I don't have anything. Let's go back to FDM.
All right, that's enough time.
You can verbally share with the class.
I'm hoping whatever you're doodling. I'm hoping whatever that doodle is that we get to see it by the end of the podcast. I'll give you.
I'm hoping too. All I'm having trouble with is cropping.
Greenline 743 is back with another super chat. Throwing up the dollar bills.
Chat.
And here I thought you need to get a new Promare because there's not enough guy-on-guy action. I mean, I don't know if you saw the movie, but what I saw didn't have any. Yeah. It had a very, very clunky, poorly constructed
CPR.
Oil? No, it's after the CPR. What's his name? Leo. Leo rips off his shirt, right? No. And everybody's like, now they're shirtless and naked together. It's like, no. This is going back to the beginning of the movie when Gallo has the Matoi tech that gets like knocked off of him by the Mad Burnish, and Leo says, "Now you're naked," or whatever, and then the Matoi tech grabs onto Leo, and it was a trap, right? Anyway, that was a reference to that. That's what they were trying to do poorly. Hey, you've got.
Speaking of ID invaded,
God,
notice how
hate that with the freaking piece of Japan that goes around the corner.
Oh, all right.
Nice,
yeah, this isn't the greatest
chunk missing
design.
in the edge there.
The what? Oh, yeah, everything on this.
That looks like you dropped it onto a stair or something.
No, that's Amazon's doing. Yeah, this one's getting returned, but it is here, and I did buy it. And
it's an okay show.
Well, I'm very glad that it's going to be okay. Especially with all the trouble I'm going through. And then we got Fire Fossuru. Both parts. Well, I already had the first part, but I slammed it in there. The limited edition's got a couple dings on it that I didn't discover until after I opened it, but whatever. I'll survive.
Have you started watching that at all?
No, I was waiting to get it all. Okay. Oh, sorry. Whoa, this way.
There you go.
Of course.
Ari Fruetta, When They Cry.
Do you want to put this in our room?
Yes, I do want to put it in our room. Thanks for asking. So this one came with a bunch of stuff shrink wrapped on the after the fact. Not sure what that. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, but the thing is, it did save it from any further crushing of Amazon's abuse. Then we got spoiler. Oh, we got the Next Watch Club. Is it the Next Watch Club?
Yep.
Yeah, we got the Helpful Fox Senko-san, and I really like shows that really emphasize a word that isn't the beginning of it, so it makes it conflicting for where do I put in the collection.
I'd put it under H.
I'd put it under S.
Yeah, every time I think of it, I just think Senko. I don't think the Helpful Fox. And then, plot twist.
Where do
I
you
got
put,
my Sword Art Online Alicization Part 1.
Oh, wonderful.
And it's rated 18 plus for contains sexual violence and strong
this is all the anime.
It's 18A. Or sorry, not A. That's not Canada.
What's the nip count in Sword Art Online?
Probably 0, but they deem this, you have to be able to watch porn to watch this. It's official. But this wasn't supposed to release until like literally today, and I got it last Thursday from the UK. Really weird, but I'm not complaining. This is actually
whoever sent that to you thought, yeah, customs. That's going to take them a week, so we'll
anime sent it.
Right?
So this is actually an art box inside of it. This is a bonus like art box that comes with like while supplies last type deal. So
space for other part.
Yes, and then there's that.
Well said. All the anime.
Now, while the US version has all of it in one 25 episode box, it is like $250 USD.
Your okay sign.
Oh, that's for only 13. That box there's what you have is only like the first like 12 or 13 episodes.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
So the one you get in the US is $250 right?
Right.
This was like 60 Canadian dollars after conversion. And the next part's probably going to be at around 60 as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's less than $250.
No.
And there's no age rating on the spine, so it's beautiful. Even though it's Sword Art Online, but technically speaking, it's beautiful. And that's all my pickups.
So what was that 123 for AC?
Oh, because I found the perfect image to put the Kenji the Tank Engine face onto. Hold on, I have to make this more.
Don't fall out of your chair.
There we go. All right. It's an eagle. It's not
I can't even tell because everything's pixelated. So I'm glad you told us what it was.
All right. So Lance says, I did not realize how gay Hunter x Hunter was till I rewatched the first 4 seasons. I mean, if by gay you mean Hisoka, maybe.
Yeah.
Kaiser Trigger says, oh boy, Ari Peretta. Don't take my ship with all the jibs. No!
The ships.
Australia has banned the import of adult anime media and products, including hentai, into the country.
USA!
Did I tell you guys about this? But there's this guy in Australia who is talking about how basically everyone in government is a bunch of pedophiles. And I'm like, oh, that explains all the underage sex dolls and the people that are going after these lolly anime. They're probably just really reactive.
Old man linked the exact same article you sent us.
Yes, but that's not the one I'm using, actually. I'm using the Sankaku Complex one that I had to scroll down at the beginning of the podcast to not show the
stuff on the side?
Artificial front hole.
Oh, no.
Okay. I gotta see what this is. I'm
going back to Kenji here, who's going to definitely be on. Okay, I'm just going to not talk about it anymore. Just do it, and I'm going to keep reading here. Naturally, plenty of jokes are made too. Kenji is just one lead carriage of a Shinkansen. Wait, don't tell me he's a Shinkansen from Japan Railway Shikoku.
That's hot.
Is that his face?
I'm looking at
his face. Okay, so the point here is that a Shinkansen usually has 5 more cars behind it. And they're joking that the only Shinkansen that actually only has the lead carriage is this one, so they photoshopped his face on the front of the Nozomi, Hikari, Shinkansen usually have girl names, so where'd Kenji come from? I'm already a captive to Kenji's charms. The style of this show mandates you have to stick a face on there at all costs, huh? Okay then. Without spoiling the story too much, the way it ends leaves a perfect opening for Thomas to come to Japan on another visit. Who knows what hairy situations he'll get himself into there. Risky click of the day. What the fuck? All right. What the that? I got more jibs.
Oh God! No, you need to get a picture of the ship lady hair and have that next to your picture of the ship. You need to frame it.
You're saying I need to frame this?
You need to print that out and frame
it. Well, then I'll just pull that tab out of the lineup so I remember to go back to it. Okay. Moving on. Back to the anime news. Kyoto Animation to merge with Animation Do on November 1st. Oh my God, what are they going to call themselves now?
Kyoto Animation.
Kyoto Animation?
They're just going to get rid of the studio everybody continues to forget is a thing.
Yeah.
Is that all there is to say about this?
They're basically just bringing the staff back under one roof to fill in the vacancies.
Kyoto Animation's Tsurune archery anime gets film. Cool.
Yeah, more Kyoto Animation stuff coming out.
Excited about.
Yay! More Kyoto Animation stuff is coming out.
How about more Chunibyo? Mangamo manga subscription app now available worldwide on iOS. Why does it look like a crappy Magic the Gathering, Attack on Titan, and other anime crossover card game?
How would you know?
I don't. That's why I can say that, because I don't know what they look like. Steins? ? semicolon. I was trying to do the question there. That wasn't a successful attempt to read it.
No.
Science adventure visual novel game announced will be a thematic sequel to Steins Gate. The game will be set in a happy world line. Well, define happy. Oh, by the way, I decided after rewatching the Steins Gate podcast that I need to make a shirt for Stealth Weeb, perhaps the most obviously liability prone shirt that is Mad Scientist, Sad Scientist, or whatever you said.
Sad Scientist, yeah.
The developers behind the science adventure series of visual novels with great job Crunchyroll, Daryl Harding, with include Steins Gate announced on a live stream tonight that a new game in the Steins series is in development. The visual novel will be a kind of sequel to Steins Gate in the same vein as Chaos Child is to Chaos Head. Oh, so it's going to have almost nothing to do with it except for the word chaos. Cool. During the live stream, Mages head Chiyomaru Shikura, who runs the studio, Chiyomaru Studio. Great phrasing, man. You're batting 1,000, Daryl. Which handles the rights to the science adventure series, discussed that the world line Steins, I still failed at that.
Steins Gate.
Maybe set in will be a happy one. Wow, the world line it may be set in will be a happy one. Okay, see, it does work. And that the game was first known internally as Steins God until Shikura decided against it and called it Steins. I can't do it. It's Steins Missing Nose, what I'm going to start calling it.
Name undecided as of right now.
It also teased that the Steins Gate Hollywood TV adaptation, which was announced in January, is coming along and they're currently setting the stage for it. Well, shit. I either want it to be nothing like Steins Gate, or I want them to hit the wrong note entirely, and I am Mad Scientist is so cool. I want that to be the entire. I want that to just be the entirety of the character that they portray. 07's visual novel Iwaihime brings a cursed school to life. So basically, the guy behind, or the team, or whatever you want to call it, behind Higurashi has another game called Iwaihime, which I'm not even going to bother to read.
And Sakona when they cry.
Yes. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate censors phallic windscreen for Minecraft Steve. So.
Oh my god. Wait, they censored it, or did they change it?
They changed
Okay, they just changed
the one
it.
below. I just want to say that
you called it.
I called this out. Yeah. Why is he holding his meat? What do you think, Julie?
I saw duos. I was like, I thought the same thing, but I was like, probably not gonna. Somebody else can take care of that.
What?
When you play Smash Bros as Steve from Minecraft and you win, it shows you as the winner, and he's holding meat.
He feeds on his enemies.
Well, look at why is he holding his meat?
Oh. That's nasty.
Now that the video quality doesn't affect the image now. It's just so what it is. It's self-pixelated anyway.
Yeah. Hilarious. All right. So let's Steve's windscreen had previously gone viral on social media after several players believed the poorly positioned meat in his hand made it look like he had a penis. The nonsense gathered further traction after the usual crooked mainstream gaming websites picked up the news. Such ludicrous changes aren't uncommon for Nintendo and the Super Smash Bros. Series, as developers also removed the Native American feather from one of Mr. Game & Watch attacks due to aforementioned toxic cesspool websites.
They bent the knee?
As offensive, yes. They not only bent the knee, they sucked the dick.
They sucked the D?
They sucked the D. Yeah, they bent the knee and sucked the D. That's the new. I coined that term. You have to start using that now. Twitter denizens deem Genshin Impact's animations similar to Nier Automata's. So yes, the timing is very clearly exactly the same. Also, did we talk about Genshin Impact like years ago? For those who don't recollect, the title was initially made to be the usual China-made clone of Breath of the Wild, but has since established its own, quote, identity. Did we talk about this previously?
I don't think so. All I know is that I saw it at the PS4 conference, and then I was like, damn, son, I kind of want to play that. And then I played it. Who would have guessed?
They're clearly not wrong. It seems to be a...
They have like the same shaders, you can cook food and blah, blah, but I think it's more of a gacha game than it is Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I'd never heard of it until people started posting about, like, crap on Facebook. I was like, huh.
I got, like, infinite ads for it on YouTube, and because it was mobile, I'm like, this is garbage. But then it's like, yeah, it's for PC, and it's free. And I'm like, oh.
So, moving right past the pose here, Koei Tecmo America promises Atelier Ryza 2, quote, will not be censored in the West. Scrolling. Koei Tecmo America has, after over a week, finally responded to the criticism of them censoring the Western trailer for the upcoming Atelier Ryza 2, with the company promising that the game will not be censored in the West as fans exhibit a healthy degree of skepticism. Koei Tecmo America distributed this message via their official Twitter account. Message to fans. Despite the differences in Atelier Ryza 2 promotional videos recently shown at TGS, we want to assure fans that the game itself will not be censored in the West. We hope everyone is looking forward to the upcoming adventure. This reassuring message has done little to quell concerns, however, as fans have the Pantsu censorship of the Fairy Tail RPG fresh in their minds. Such amazing people as Raging Golden Eagle here. Just like how Fairy Tail wasn't going to be censored, right? If you will remember, don't make me regret this, I will not accept any censorship whatsoever, to which Raging Golden Eagle said, they already censored Fairy Tail with a day one patch after promising it wouldn't be censored. Wish list and wait a few months. So yes, I mean, I don't really care about this game. I don't even know how we ended up talking about it. I think the way that this came onto our radar was that bug at that conference in Japan.
Oh yeah, the pantsu.
The pantsu, yeah, where like the dress got hung up on the collision of the dress got like flipped up into the belt for literally like what 9 frames, and somebody in Japan saw it and decided it was worth spreading around. Now, also, I want to share something that is even more amazing, which is that this pose. There has to be something in the game. I mean, I just don't understand.
Because I keep using
physical shipments. Physical shipments of Atelier Ryza 2 for PlayStation 5 have been canceled.
Just like us.
Those seeking to purchase a physical edition of Atelier Ryza 2 for the PlayStation 5 have been informed that such iterations of the game are now canceled, with Koei Tecmo explaining that various circumstances led to this rather tough decision. The sequel's official website shared this saddening notification, mentioning the canceling of the physical edition for PS5, but also reassuring customers that the digital edition has not been affected by this decision. Guess what? Hey, guess what? They're going to censor it with a patch. That's what the digital edition is for.
Just get the PS5. The PC. Get the PC version.
Buy the disc version, right? And then disconnect your internet and play it. We couldn't have that, right?
Yeah.
So a specific reason was not issued in regards to this canceling, though many may lament that physical games are now becoming even more scarce as a result.
Becoming
The
more
website.
extinct.
This is what's interesting. That's for you, Julie.
The timed quiz.
The website clarified that the upgrade program will also still be available, where those who buy the PlayStation 4 version of the game, both physical or digital, can also acquire a digital PS5 version at no expense, though a standard PS5 with a disc drive is mandatory. Atelier Ryza 2 launches for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch on December 3rd for Japan, followed by its
Ironically, the
Western...
Switch version is going to be less censored.
Yeah, for the same consoles and PC come January 26th. So it's kind of funny to me, like, you make a game and you release it for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Remember back in the day when you could just play a PlayStation 1 game on PS2? Those were the days. Sentai Filmworks licenses Killing Bites anime. Take it away, Reese.
Basically another anime that's been streaming on Amazon video streaming service since like 2018.
I'm having a flashback to Nam here.
Kind of like last week when we talked about Blade Model. It's been during
kind of like an hour ago when we said this exact article.
Well, yeah, during that too. There's also no RHYS stuff. AC.
What?
You know what there is though? My class project.
What?
It's ready. Put the camera on me, boys. I'd like to officially announce I'm a VTuber, bitches. So make sure to go to
That's
Stealth
amazing.
Weave,
I need to
get
do
our
that.
shirt, go to our Patreon, and go to at OCA Podcast. And yeah, I'm a shill for the OCA Podcast.
Why do you have boobs?
How do you do
These
that?
aren't
I want that.
It's like $20 on Steam. That's how I did it.
So how are you piping it into StreamYard?
Very complicated. I was figuring that out the whole time because going through OBS didn't work. Like StreamYard, you can go to the devices. It says it's called FaceRig. It has FaceRig Virtual Cam, but when I selected it, it was just blackness. So I'm like, okay, well, this is stupid. But through my Logitech, like it has a software, it's called like Logitech Capture. And you can select the device, so I select it, or the program. So, yeah, you just select FaceRig or whatever it's called, and it works.
So my favorite thing about this is the fact that you took all of these images from the internet and used like the background eraser tool, and that's why Patreon's logo is blue instead of white. Why
I did that as a stylistic choice, because I'm like, this white looks like AIDS.
Why Stealth Weave's glasses and the logo are blue instead of white. Yet the image that you didn't do that for is the one you took the blue background for so that Augie's shirt wouldn't become blue.
Well, no, I natively made that image, so I didn't have to erase anything.
You had the one without the background.
Yep.
Random 11 says move your arms.
I can't. I mean, there are some pre-made models that you can move the arms. If you give me a moment, I can.
So, okay. All right. Because I'm an amazing person who has the skills necessary for this, please get me the information necessary so that I can build you a model with the long neck and the big eyes and the mouth.
Dude, I was trying to figure out how to do that. I was trying. So the character you saw is literally one that's built into the thing. I just photoshopped the colors different so it didn't look like a normie trash. I mean, here's some behind the scenes.
I feel like our viewership is about to go way up.
We should all just get.
This is amazing.
We should just all do this. All of us.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you think we could host the podcast through VR chat?
Dude, are we going to be the first VTuber podcast?
I think this is the future, guys.
But you guys want to see what's even better?
The future's dark.
I'm a turkey, bitches.
This is long neck. That's it. We found the one. We got the one.
Make sure to go to the OCA Podcast to get more of your turkey needs fulfilled, just in time for Thanksgiving. I think. I don't know.
I'm so disappointed in how perfectly the mouth movements are connected to what you're saying.
You can also sync it to audio. It's literally just going off my cam movements.
Can you like raise your eyebrows while as a turkey?
I'm glad you guys like my show and tell.
Yeah. Go ahead and wiggle your scrotum real quick.
Oh yeah, the rigged scrotum is quite flexible. It's off screen right now, unfortunately. The turkey scrotums, you know.
Oh my god.
Okay, hold on. I need to send a very private message.
Go to the OCA Podcast.
Oh, I think there's also voice modulation here. Voice effects. I can add
This is
whatever this is. Do I sound any different? Oh no, I don't think it's actually going through the program, so it doesn't matter. But you guys can do that.
Wait, you're telling me that was? You're telling me that you made that voice to try to have it go through a program to change the voice?
No, I don't know, man. I just thought of it on the spot. I'm like, there's also these. What is that?
I just can't take it seriously while I'm talking to a velociraptor. So
Hey, this is serious business here. The OCA Podcast business.
Can you put a top hat on the velociraptor?
No clue.
Like, can you make your own models if you want?
Reese,
You can import whatever you want.
okay.
Oh, I'm an albino now.
This is
that's
a
more
promise
fitting.
for you, Reese.
Ooh.
I am going to make your VTuber your avatar. It will
Really?
happen. Yes. Because
my
it's got to be infinitely better than what you're currently using. Just a little still thing. I think that would be the funniest thing.
I think I
Anytime you
froze.
have a pickup, we just update the model to have it in your hands. Oh my gosh.
Look how kawaii I am now.
Could you be
Don't
wearing,
need to
like,
enjoy.
a sailor uniform?
What was that?
Could you be wearing like the sailor uniform?
I don't know. You just have to frickin' make a model of that, I guess.
Oh,
There is, however, for the live 2D for the waifus, there is a Photoshop script you can download on their site for free. So, I mean, you can look into that and probably figure it out. I'm literally just doing the, recolor things and be a cheapo.
oh man. Okay. So you're going to need to send me some API stuff so that I can make this happen, because I think that would be the greatest. I have like 5 days off coming up because we service the communities. You're either the first like Monday of the month, or second Monday of the month, or Monday. Well, not Monday. We don't actually work Monday, but Tuesday through Saturday. So because there's only 4 effectively in the month before you have like the variable, because 28 days, 4 weeks, blah blah blah. We have the end of the month off every month. So, so I'm gonna have some time that I really should be doing other stuff for, but
This is awesome.
we'll be doing this instead, because I think this would be really funny to do.
This one I can
Anyway.
move the arms for, but I don't know where my little thing went.
Okay.
Oh well.
Well, back to this. I want to point out.
There's no
Why?
new stuff here that we've already covered. That we haven't
but
covered
I would
yet.
like to look at this, which I already opened.
Okay.
Look, new Sorcerer Stabber Orphan. This is from, what was this from last year, 2019? Or is this 2020?
This is the new one. Yeah.
Yeah. But was it 2019 or 2020? And who did they get to voice him? Is it Crispin Freeman?
I think it's the guy who voiced it, Tomoya in Clannad. Because he did the original, right?
So
I thought
you're
they
telling
didn't
me
have.
that
I thought they didn't have
mispronounce
any consistency.
all the characters' names?
No, I'm just saying he's the consistent casting that he was in the original for the main character.
Well, that's cool. Also, would like to get this. But won't, probably. All right. In more news, Higurashi no Nakukoro ni 2020 collab cafe brimming with the. By the way, if you guys covered any of the things I'm going to share, just let me know. All right. So I thought this was funny because, yeah, typical cafe thing. Oh, do they give you ohage? That's what it's called, right? Ohage? Do they give you ohage with needles in it?
Or spicy?
Yes. Anyway, so that was the thing. What was her name? Honyu?
That doesn't sound right. Which one? Hanyu?
Honyu. Was that her name?
I believe Hanyu, not Honya.
I recently rewatched the. Oh, look, you could even get the outfit from the Genion covers.
Now that's cool. I like that. Not that I could wear it or anything, but
you could wear it on your VTuber avatar.
That's genius.
Fuck. All right, keeping that.
You can dress up your cat.
God, there's I don't know what to do anymore with the thumbnail, guys.
There's too many options.
My perfect thing planned, and now it's all ruined. I have turkeys and
What grade do I get on the class project?
I mean, I give you an A+.
I'd give you an A+ too, but I'm allergic to cats, so I'm gonna have to turn that into an A-.
Oh, darn! I'll go to this furry instead. That's not a furry. What about a dog in a bowl? You want to eat me? Eat me.
Aw, it's kind of cute. I'll give you an A for that one. An A for
whisper really
an A for.
Come here, boys. I got some soup.
You want to buy some drugs?
Come get the cream of some young guy.
Buy some soup.
All right.
Eat me.
Okay. Criminally Classy Moriarty the Patriot jewelry is now on sale. So, Reese, you shared this.
I just shared it just because it's jewelry and shit.
Okay. Can I borrow this real quick, wife?
Wait, what?
So, in my amazing new life as a trash cleaner,
your life is trash. Is that what you just said?
Less than 2 weeks, and already I have found rings in people's garbage. Ooh. And other things I've taken home. The guy that I work with in the last year alone has gotten 2 bikes. I service the rich areas in California. So people who are rich
are throwing away their nobody's boy Remy's
and buy the newest version of it. So TVs, all sorts of good stuff.
You might find a Blu-ray player next week.
I know. I'm waiting for my 4K TV to show up. But the guy that I work with, just in this last year, he's gotten 2 bikes. The only thing wrong with them is that they needed air put in the tires, and treadmills, and all sorts of stuff. So, look how the eyes twitch so much.
It's because I'm looking away from the zone, but hey.
Can you wait for us?
Buy my merch, Desu.
the fact that I haven't gotten a whole bunch of orders from Stealth Weeb during that segment
During
shows
the
me.
last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Imperial Dramaan amplified version Digimon model kit.
You see, I would be super hyped for this if it looked anywhere near accurate.
I know, because he doesn't actually have like weird action figure elbows, does he?
But it transforms.
The elbows are the problem. I'm talking about how he has his armor has all these weird chunguses coming out of it. Like
right. That's the technical term, chungus.
Yeah, the chunguses. The chungusai. But
Chungusai.
But
Okay.
what is it? The thing is in Digimon they have different forms. So it's like Omnimon X antibody, Imperial Dramaan X antibody. I don't think that one's been released yet. I don't think they've made an art for that. But the point is, if it was that, if this was like Imperial Dramaan X, I'd be over the moon.
This is Escaflowne. The kit changes into 2 modes: fighter mode, dragon mode.
Yeah. From the show.
Yeah, from the show Escaflowne.
Oh.
From the show Digimon
Season 2. Can be rearranged and have lock structure. Forearms, thighs, waist.
The thing is, they made a Digivolving
positron,
shoulders, knees, and toes.
They made a Digivolving Imperial Dramaan figure back in the days, and I think on eBay you can get them at like $400 or something each now. So this is actually a pretty good replacement for that. Difference is you have to actually build it because it's a model. But I mean, I feel like they could have done better, given us a accurate looking one. Like if they make this amplified thing canon, then I'll be okay with that. But
all right, moving on. 1970s classic robot plastic model Atlanger is back with the Bishoujo figure.
Is it Atlanger or Atlanger?
Lingerie?
Yes.
You choose. I mean, I don't really see the resemblance.
It's cute.
The boobs look really weird.
There's more pictures. Let's see them.
This screams to me the weird Bible comic from like Bible Man. Was that? What was the? Doesn't this seem like a Christian bookstore themed Bible hero?
Gundam Templar.
And this is the not
Whoa.
Christian main character with the thought. Dabbing. Oh no, not dabbing. What do you call Ultraman pose?
They're half dabbing. Wow, those really not awkward looking ginormous fists.
Yeah. Continuing.
They're fisting.
Gundam face masks will help you stay safe when you have to be mobile during the pandemic. So, yes, face masks. I just liked this line here. Ironically, the mask that Char himself wears would be completely ineffective against the coronavirus. Japanese stores stock stylish PlayStation home decor, including lights, controller mugs, and clocks. This is the thing you get for that guy who has embraced being a gamer so hard that he has like the neon light Monster energy drink logo of like the claw marks like in his man cave.
Yeah.
for $50, you can have this doohickey, or this mug, or this desk light.
Most uncomfortable mug to grip whatsoever.
Seriously, what the hell? Or this chalice.
Yes. Give me my chalice. Pass me my chalice.
That's actually kind of cool because that's like the trophy sign, isn't it? So they've made a 3D version of a trophy you can drink out of.
Yes, fancy glass trophy. So you can drink your Mountain Dew Code Red.
Exactly.
With the Cheeto crust or Cheeto dust on the rim.
Don't forget the vintage Cheeto what do you call it, dust stuck in all the corners of the mold. Anyway, continuing. I think I mentioned it. I don't remember if it was on stream or if I talked to you guys about it. Pikachu's butt evolves into delicious dessert at Tokyo's official Pokemon sweet shop.
I don't know how to feel about that.
While I refresh it because none of the images have loaded. And probably won't load if I'm not. There we go. There's Pikachu's butt.
I don't see it again. Oh, there it is.
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't know how I feel about eating ass.
Let alone Pikachu's.
Yeah.
You're telling me eating Pikachu ass isn't appealing to you?
It's probably going to taste like
Ass.
What about this?
kibbles and
Pikachu,
ketchup.
I poo with you. Official Pokemon toilet created in Japan for young fans.
Hold on for Pikachu's.
Peekapoo, peekapoo.
I don't think I'm ever going to top that transition where we talked about butt detectors. Speaking of cracking butts. Oh, dang it. You didn't see anything. Australia denied.
That's a very fetching picture, by the way.
Is it? Is it? See, I'm not even perturbed by the yogurt all over her so much as I am the front hole on the toy. So, yeah. Okay. Now, I just want to point out the Australian Customs official website provided an absurdly worded explanation as to what isn't allowed. Publications, films, computer games, and any other goods that describe, depict, express, or otherwise deal with matters of sex in such a way that they offend against the standards of morality, decency, and propriety generally accepted by reasonable adults are not allowed.
Define reasonable adults.
I mean,
not us.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure. Did you hear that?
What?
My wife laughed exactly as you said that.
What did he say? My brother also has a commentary.
Reese said, define reasonable adults, and FDM said, not us.
That's
So I do want to point out that the sentence that immediately precedes that entire paragraph says, child pornography, parenthetical, any depiction of children in a sexually explicit manner is illegal. So I don't know if these are supposed to be connected. But yeah, J-List is a business that specializes in lewd products such as Ona holes. Also the front hole in the picture. Dojinshi, erotic figurines, Japanese adult video, and other collectibles. And all of them are unable to be shipped to those residing in Australia as a result of its corrupt government. At the moment, J-List non-erotic products can still be shipped to the island, though some might agree that simply moving somewhere else might perhaps be a healthier option. I should probably check the chat. Is Old Man still here? Yeah, Hollow Live better watch out. There's a new VTuber in town. He's only 14p, unfortunately. All you need is motion capture and a voice changer.
Technically speaking, I think it's rendering at 4K, but I mean, yes, 4P.
I mean, I wasn't thinking that it was like worth it. But now that I've seen how far we've come, I think maybe it is worth it.
Well, the thing is, there is the voice changer built in, as I was showing. It's just because I'm directly, the mic is directly going to StreamYard. It's not filtering, and the motion capture, I think, all is based on the program. Holy crap!
So I meant to upload some of these to the StreamYard so you could hear the noise this thing makes. Town in Japan now protecting itself from bears with monster wolf robot. Hokkaido community considers itself Hokkaido community considers creating an entire wolf pack of howling sentries with glowing red eyes. How do I incorporate this into this thumbnail? I want this to be my VTuber persona.
Your persona.
With the fidelity of the turkey. I want to be this metal-legged wolf werewolf LED eye creature.
And it has to be able to breathe fire.
Last month, a bear was spotted in a residential area of the town of Takikawa in Hokkaido. And naturally, the citizens' response.
It's only natural.
The animals are a symbol of Japan's northernmost prefecture. They can also be extremely dangerous, especially in autumn, as they scavenge for food to gorge themselves on in preparation to hibernate through the winter. When bear tracks were also spotted near homes multiple times, the town decided something needed to be done. In situations like this, local governments in Japan will often call in hunters to trap the animal. Or, if it's already caused injuries to residents, exterminate it. But instead of contacting the local hunting club, Takikawa decided to get help from a wolf. And not just any wolf, but a monster wolf. I want you guys to be able to hear this. Pardon me for a moment while I change the screen share settings so that you guys can hear this thing in all of its glory. Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh my god!
That'll keep those bears. The mechanical monster wolf is made by Hokkaido Machine Parts Manufacturing Company Ota Seiki,
Sexy.
a robotic wildlife deterrent. The monster wolf is equipped with infrared sensors that detect when an animal is drawn near.
Or small children.
Oh,
God.
Its infrared sensors and microphone sense the screams of local bears. Once a sensor is triggered, the head swivels and the LED eyes light up in a demonic red, fully justifying the first half of the monster wolf's name. While all that is going on, speakers emit a loud, startling sound to drive off the encroaching creature without physically harming it. In order to keep animals from becoming accustomed to the noise and thus no longer afraid of it, the monster wolf has a library of some 60 different sounds, including wolf howls, human voices, and even the sound of gunshots. We recommend turning down your speakers for this video unless you want to get scared too. Here it comes, guys. That's it?
I don't think I can sleep tonight. After
I
seeing
need
that.
these for my front yard to keep the trick or
Here's it scaring away a baby deer.
Oh.
Currently, there are monster wolves in 62 communities in Japan. But the recent addition to Takikawa is the town's first. Are you shitting me? This is an established thing that they've had already.
Old man brings this up. They should have used it. Or where was it? No, Random 11. How old is this article? I've seen this wolf thing before, like years ago.
Yeah, so that's proof that it indeed is has already been a thing.
So speaking of the wolf from Princess Mononoke, Hawaiian photographer uses own dog in Princess Mononoke cosplay. A little Pomeranian.
Yep.
We're still looking at the wolf article.
Oh, good. It's not just my.
Yeah. You guys. I have it set to the audio thing, so it's stuck on that one. All right. We've included many methods in its design to drive off bears, so I am confident it will be effective, said Oda Seiki president Yuji Oda. If this can help create an environment that bears and people can both live in, I will be happy. Secretly, they're like trying to resurrect the demon wolf king, like strategically putting these in all these, communities in Japan to create this giant like demon wolf pentagram. Since the Takikawa installation, no new bear sightings have been reported in the neighborhood, so it seems to be working well. No, but seriously, like Yuji Ota just brings his pet bear into town. Oh, well, we need another one here. Yes, right on the galactic ley line. They're like putting them in strategic places to make their demon wolf pentagram.
Galactic ley line. That's Outlaw Star, right?
Yes. Well, I meant to say ley line. That's you knew what I meant. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, the Outlaw Star reference couldn't not. Okay, so no new bear sightings have been reported in the neighborhood, so it seems to be working well, and the town is now considering a widespread introduction of monster wolf protectors next month, which unfortunately means they won't be in place for Halloween. That's a shame.
It is. There's always next time.
That'd be like the best yard decoration for trick-or-treaters. Just have like a couple of these things.
You think we could buy one? When the podcast
it's for research purposes.
No. when the podcast has got its newfound like fame from our obvious $1 million idea over here, once the podcast brings in all those new viewers and we're actually
morning, Seb. Welcome to the boy room.
Like my behind, next to my picture of the eagle. Just be like a prop in the background hanging out in the closet. Anyway, so here's the Pomeranian being used in the thing. Anyway, moving on. 13-year-old girl gets her dream date with Godzilla. So Reese, you shared this. Shall I read?
I didn't really read it. I thought it was funny.
I'll read.
It sounds really stupid. And there's like a 13-minute video.
Okay, well, we don't have to watch the video. We can just play it.
Yeah.
And like skip through a couple things. Is it actually? Oh my god. Who's
like shows her collection?
Who is in the costume? I want to know.
I don't know.
Godzilla better not be
making a move on my daughter.
Yeah, Godzilla.
I mean, they frolic on the beach pretty good at the end.
So 13-year-old
Godzilla, defender of your daughter.
13-year-old Sarah Watanabe is a huge fan of Godzilla. She has watched all of his films, collected his merch, and can replicate his iconic cry. No way. Does she do it in the video?
I don't know what.
Can you find the timestamp for that, somebody, so I can hear that?
This is a short version of the actual episode, so yeah.
Okay.
It might not be in this one.
She keeps a notebook where she draws her ideal romantic situations with the kaiju. So she's mentally ill. Okay. On an episode of Japanese variety show Night Scoop, the young maiden got to go on her dream date with Godzilla. The offbeat romance played out on a segment that aired last Saturday. You can watch an edited version of the segment below. Godzilla has a reputation for being popular with the ladies. One of the most iconic Godzilla photos is of actor Haruo Nakajima in his monster suit walking with actress Momoko Kochi on the set of the very first... Okay. All right.
It's a cute picture.
I'm pulling it up.
It's definitely West framing.
It's definitely not taking a million years to load.
How old is Godzilla?
That's the question. I need to know if he's a pedo going on a date with this 13-year-old.
Wasn't it 1958 or something when the first one was?
Yeah, presumably Godzilla.
Or 54.
Hundreds or thousands of years old. Does it circumvent the legality of it because he's
in a completely different age bracket?
Odd years.
Yeah.
This
That's
photo
some good
is
loading.
We're going to move on and come back to it. Man goes on first date with woman. She brings 23 family members along for the meal.
That's one hell of a first date.
Plan to test the potential backfires in spectacular fashion. 2020 has been a bad year for singles in the dating scene. Lockdowns and social distancing guidelines have really put a dampener on finding the perfect partner. But things aren't all bad. At least you're not this man in China who went on a first date with a woman who brought along 23 of her relatives. The story begins, the question is, did her 23 relatives put out? The story begins in Zhejiang province, where a 29-year-old man who'd been having trouble finding love during the pandemic was set up on a date by his mother. Well, there's your problem. He was looking forward to the date and arranged to meet her at a restaurant for a meal together. When he went to the restaurant, as they had planned, he walked in to find his date had turned up with 23 of her relatives. She said, "Let's all eat together." And despite not receiving any advance warning that the party for two had turned into a party for 25, the man sat down and ate with the family. As they ate, damn it, I forgot that I need to refresh all of these so that we can actually read them. Even though I think the reason that they didn't load is because we're getting a taste of that.
It's because AC is a complete cuck.
Yes, it's that reason. They know. Oh, this is the Godzilla photo that still won't load.
It's not loading for me either for some reason.
It was removed because, Japan likes to delete all of these interesting videos, right? Same with the photo.
Well, it was a photo that presumably we could Google search. Anyway.
I'll Google search it.
As they ate, the table filled up with expensive meals and alcohol, which his date and her family members devoured happily. At the end of the meal, the man was given the bill by restaurant staff, and he was gobsmacked to find it came to a total of $2,962 US. Unable to pay the bill, the man snuck out of the restaurant without anyone noticing and returned home, leaving the woman to foot the bill. This guy's my hero. Money doesn't grow on trees, and it doesn't grow in wallets either. When she realized her date was nowhere to be found, the woman was reportedly surprised and attempted to contact him, to no avail. She then had no choice but to pay for the meal. Asked why she brought her family members with her to the first date, the woman said, "I was testing whether the man who might potentially be my boyfriend would be generous enough to pay for all 25 people, including himself and myself."
Wow.
That sounds like a thought, yeah.
That doesn't sound like she was trying to scam a NEET whose mom set up a date. That doesn't sound like that at all. She went on to insist that she was the victim, as she ended up having to pay for the meal. Yes. That poor woman.
That's sure going to hold up to anyone that you ask. Oh, my first date with that guy, he didn't pay for my entire family.
How do you convince 23 people to say, oh, this guy you've never met is going to pay for all of us? And you don't have any, like Uncle Jim's like, no, I'll pay for my wife and myself.
I think all you have to do is tell the family members, yeah, don't worry. His mom set up the date. And they're like, oh, he's a chump. Okay. Right. She went on to insist that she was the victim and she ended up paying for the meal. People online weren't sure about that, commenting that regardless of who pays on a first date, ambushing the other party with 23 of your family members is never going to go over well.
Yeah.
So let this
that be a lesson to you.
That's 23 times over or like 12 times over my budget that I've had for this meal. Yeah, obviously I'm not going to have 12 times as much cash to pay for one meal that I planned for. Like, that's stupid.
I mean, I need to see this guy's Facebook page to understand why she thought this was a good idea. Because, he might be the guy who's, like, photographing himself with money and standing next to other people's cars. You know what I'm talking about. You know those guys.
Yeah.
So let this story be a warning to anyone thinking of testing prospective partners when meeting them for the first time. If you do, be prepared for it to backfire spectacularly, just as it likely will if you turn up in a wedding dress to the wedding of your ex and their new partner. I think we covered this, didn't we?
Oh,
I know I at least pulled this article up and saw it where the woman crashed her ex's wedding wearing a bridal gown. Yes, I remember reading this article. Anyway, moving on. Family cheated out of 54 million yen by man impersonating Japanese rock star for 3 years. Suspect also convinced his own mother he was the Deer and Gray frontman for 10 years. In the annals of Japanese music, Deer and Gray is often identified as just another Visual Kei band. But really, there's something of a musical anomaly with a rather amorphic style. Despite being such an avant-garde band, they're also amazingly successful with legions of fans in Japan and around the world. This is thanks, in no small part, to their vocalist Kyo, who has a remarkable range both in terms of pitch and sounds. Here's a pretty good example. I didn't watch this before, but I'm curious now. I know you can't hear it. That didn't help me at all. That wasn't a supercut of him doing different things. It was an actual music video or something. Anyway, granted, it's an acquired taste, but even if you're not planning to play their greatest hits at your next box social, whatever that's supposed to mean, is that a coronavirus reference? I don't get it. You have to respect Kyo's vocal chops. However, as much as I like the guy, if my daughter came home one day with him on her arm, I'm sure I'd be thrilled about it. I'm not sure I'd be thrilled about it. Moreover, I'd sure as hell not hand him 54 million yen, or basically $500,000 US.
Oof.
I might be alone there, however, because that's just what a 61-year-old father in Oji, Nara Prefecture, did over the course of nearly 3 years after Kyo and his daughter started living together. To make matters worse, this Kyo wasn't even a Kyo, but actually Yoshikazu Kasahara, a 39-year-old unemployed man of questionable vocal ability. That's the important thing here. Kasahara convinced the woman who was to become his common-law wife and her parents that he was the Deer and Gray frontman, using a neck tattoo that was similar to the one the real Kyo has. I guess this. Then, from October of 2017, he began convincing his father-in-law to give him money using made-up stories, such as being ripped off of all his money by his band's manager.
I met Q.
Oh, you did? You want to tell a story on podcast?
No.
Okay.
No, I was too nervous to even say anything to him. It was embarrassing.
In defense of the family, Kyo's neck tattoo is the one part of his appearance that doesn't constantly change. While such a scandal probably would have made the news, the father took the fake Kyo at his word and neck tattoo and began giving him money. After a while, the dad's savings were tapped, and he canceled his life insurance policy to keep handing money over to his seemingly hapless rocker. To keep handing money over to the seemingly hapless rocker. It's unclear what finally blew Kasahara's cover, but in the same span of time, Kyo and the rest of the real Deer in Grey wrapped up a national tour, went on 2 world tours, released a single, a full-length album, a greatest hits album, a live Blu-ray, 2 books, contributed to numerous compilations, made 12 national TV performances, and many more interviews in print and video. One of those things might have tipped someone off. Their latest single just came out last August. Also, be warned that, like most Deer in Grey videos, this contains imagery that may be disturbing to some. Oh, I guess I can't watch it. This was Kasahara's 3rd arrest, the other 2 being related to an assault charge and defrauding a former girlfriend's father. No. There's a history. While in custody, he reportedly came clean, telling police, "I am not a rock star, so there is no manager. Until now, I've been lying to get money any way I could, and I cannot repay it. But I'm really surprised at the amount." What the fuck?
when you can't believe they lie once as far as it did.
No, but seriously, it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, when I told them I was qualified for the job, I was bullshitting. I didn't think they'd hire me, but then they did. So I just kept coming. Now all those people are dead, and I'm really surprised at the amount. If all this hasn't been weird enough, the investigation also revealed that Kasahara began posing as Kyo to his own mother, from whom he lives apart, for the past 10 years. Yeah, he's been practicing. He's a method actor. been living this lie long enough to fool other people. If you can fool your own mom. He used some of his ill-gotten money to buy her Deer in Grey concert tickets so she could watch her son perform. I was embarrassed to tell her I was unemployed and just imagine. This is the level of bringing dishonor on your family taken to the extreme, where like you can't even function. Imagine the Asian American kid, right? Mm-hmm. Who gets a B and has to hatch this grand scheme to like bribe the school, like somebody in the school, to get the proper font and like photo paper or like like the document paper so that they can change the B to an A, right? Like that's the biggest worst thing they do. But in actual Asia, in actual Japan, it's like, well, I'm unemployed, so rather than get a job, it's like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode, right? Like there's the easy way to solve that problem, and there's the 10-year con that you do instead.
I gotta pause you on this one. That is a sexy shirt, FDNM.
Yeah, you can get it at stealthweeb.com, apparel for the undercover otaku. Just use promo code lack of promo code and get 0% off.
Yes, I can't afford to give you any % off, actually, because I scraped the bottom of the barrel as it is with those prices.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot where I was at. Oh, yes. I was embarrassed to tell her I was unemployed and pretended to be a member. He told the authorities along with... okay. Julie, Deer in Grey. he's been running this con for 10 years with his mom, but Deer and Gray's been around for at least 20, right?
I was in high school when I saw them, so probably. Maybe. I don't know.
I'm thinking. I'm just trying to do the math in my head. Because it's 2020 right now. We met in 2006. So that was 14 years ago.
Deer and Gray, years active, 1997 to present.
1997 to present. Well, it's
That's
a good
what
thing
I'm
his
for.
mom doesn't know how to Google like you, Reese. He told the authorities, along with how he began tattooing himself. Reese, could I ask you to pull up a picture of Kyo from Deer and Gray's neck tattoo?
Seb says, did AC's wife really meet him, or did she meet the guy from the article?
Julie, one of my viewers wants to know if you really met Kyo. Or you met
Vocalist.
the article.
No, I really met you. I met him at a concert. He was with another band. I wish I knew what it was, but it was an American band that was super popular at the time.
That's too good, Seb.
He was the opening.
Oh, God. Who was it? I remember. It was an American band, right?
Yeah.
Was it like
band.
My Chemical Romance or something?
No, it wasn't My Chemical Romance. I wish I knew. As soon as I can message Megan, but it's late. It's not.
I'm trying to, like, what bands have you seen in concert?
I didn't care about the American band.
Oh.
They were just weird.
Okay. Then it wasn't Tegan
Relevant.
And Sarah, like that.
No.
Does his neck tattoo say damned?
I don't know. Can you link me in the?
That's what I just googled Kyo neck tattoo on Google Images.
Okay, so I was embarrassed to tell her I was unemployed and pretended to be a member. He told the authorities, along with how he began tattooing himself on his neck and arms like Kyo to play into the ruse, and how he's been a big fan of theirs since high school. So I don't. Okay, hold on. They say he began tattooing himself, but do they actually mean he just went and got tattoos on his neck and arms? Because the way they phrase this, it sounds like he's tattooing himself.
Yeah.
Which is way funnier to me. Because I picture the pictures where like the tragedies where like somebody's child dies, or like their wife that they've been married to for like 2 years dies, and they get the photo from their wedding tattooed on them, and it's like hideous.
It looks like ash.
Oh God, you know what I'm talking about? So I picture like the bride and the horrible tattoo, and I picture Kyo and the horrible tattoo, right? Right.
I think
Like,
that looks like ass is the phrase of the week.
Looks like ass is the phrase of the week. Yes, I agree.
He's doing it in the mirror, and she turns around, and it's backwards. Like he's watching himself tattooed on his neck, and he's looking at the mirror. It looks fine, but it's backwards.
By the way, I found something out. So I watched Lupin Goodbye Partner, and at the very end, the shot with I have it actually on my. Give me a second. I will screen share it because I took a screenshot of it. I didn't quite know how to feel about this ending shot here. Oh, let me open it. I thought this was a mistake at first, and then I realized why they did it. And it's obvious.
I'm gonna have to mute for a little bit.
You see what I'm talking about here? You see this?
How
So
police?
I realized later the reason that this is actually accurate, because when this is how an ambulance looks, so that when you look in the
mirror,
in the rear view mirror, it's written forward, right?
Yeah.
So you can't say the S. I didn't know what the esalops were, right? So I couldn't. Okay. You'd have to send that to me for me to share with the class. Is that Bernie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a meme of Bernie Sanders writing on a. Is it a whiteboard or is it like one of those paper? Yeah, it's a whiteboard, and it says, "Stay home if you sick, come over if you thick."
Are we just going to try and write this podcast off as education so we get, like, I don't know, bonuses from the government?
You need to change your avatar into the busty teacher with the blackboard background.
God damn it, I don't think I have that one. Now, there are 3D waifus in this one. A lot of them look really sketchy.
Cringe and no.
I don't know if I've ever seen a high school teacher that looks like that before.
Is this a drow or are you in blackface?
It was the avatar, not me, and my mouth is not calibrated right. What is going on?
Are you making kissy faces? Please open your mouth. Oh. You look like Duo.
This is so not good. Oh, it could be a hamburger.
Before sexualizing FDNM, we better stop. Oh,
God. You want to eat me? Come get me.
Oh my god.
Okay, I know that this is what.
Is this Ahega? Who's this girl? I'm the tech support. You're gonna have to wait in line for the next caller. I'll have to put you on hold. I'm very sorry about that.
If you flip your head around really quick, does the hair like flip around to the other shoulder?
No.
Not even close.
Ooh, I think there's I can be like Satan. Whoever this is.
I think you found it at DDNM. When Augie comes back from church. You should just be a nun. Is there a nun one?
I can make one. Very poorly.
I think we just take the head from this one and put it on the nun body. Okay. Old man says, I expect to see Augie as a waifu in the next episode.
Well,
do they make
there's a 10 episode
wheelchair? Do they make wheelchair anime girls?
Who the hell is this punk?
Is that Karl Marx?
I like anime. It was the worst thing that happened to me. My wife left me.
So
I don't know why.
Are these references to Joker? I haven't seen it.
I don't know. I'm just making it up on the spot. I think the calibration.
You look like you ate out a McDonald's ketchup packet. You look like a freaking Terminator in there. What's with your teeth?
How much did this cost?
Like, it's $15 for the base one and $5 for the DLC for the waifus, the 2D ones.
Oh. So you're saying it's basically free?
Yeah, more or less.
You're saying it's a good investment. All right.
So,
Yes.
so
Okay,
you're saying Greenline 743's generous donation
Just
bought
paid for
me and
5
AC
members.
just bought us all that. Is this on Steam or something?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
where it is.
So,
I can
you're
link
gonna-
you
quickly, how did you pipe this into StreamYard again?
How did I what?
How did you pipe it into StreamYard?
So technically speaking, well, I can try it right now. I can try and change the source because it says face rig virtual camera if I go to the camera drop down.
Okay, so it sees it as a camera.
So yeah, right now it shows this when I do that, but it could be because it's in use from Logi Capture, which comes with my Logitech. Actually, I guess you could probably get Logi Capture because it's free. I'm routing it. You can select the program from the drop down in Logi Capture, and there you have it.
Well, cool. We'll look into that.
Yeah, we're going to walk us through getting that set up after podcast.
I mean, we've only got 10 more articles before we can all just, get on that. But so again, this same paragraph. I was embarrassed to tell her I was unemployed and pretended to be a member. He told the authorities, along with how he began tattooing himself on his neck and arms like Kyo, to play into the ruse. And now he's been a big fan of theirs since high school. It's a pretty unbelievable crime in almost every regard. So that confession of surprise at how much he cheated his last victim out of was probably the most honest thing Kasahara said in a long time. Readers of the news also reveled in the incredulousness of it all. This is a joke, right? Even the guy's confession is kind of zany. So I'll say this. I think that when he says, but I'm really surprised at the amount, I feel like what happened is that when the charges came, he probably was thinking we got rent every month for the last 3 years, and he maybe didn't calculate on his head. So when they said, hey, what was it? 54 million yen. He's like, whoa. Was it really that much? Damn. I feel like that's what happened. Anyway, Kyo-kun would never do such a thing. The clever sleazoid sustained the untruth. Okay. That poor woman was telling everyone she was dating Kyo the whole time. He should apologize to Kyo. This is so funny. I still don't believe it's real. Didn't anyone ask to hear his death metal voice that entire time? Why didn't they just Google him? I mean, what if he really looks like him? I don't know. Impersonating such a high-profile person in the information age is definitely a ballsy move. But thankfully, judges are usually indifferent to ballsiness. Also, considering this is Kasahara's third strike, he may end up with a lot of time to practice his singing behind bars. And while the justice system does its thing, we should also acknowledge a truly historic aspect of this whole case. This may very well be the first time in human history that a person's neck tattoo alone directly resulted in them getting money. Yes. All right, so I'm going to stop screen sharing for a second while I look up this neck tattoo. Excuse me while I copy an N for Deer and Gray.
You see, the key is to hide it with your neck beard.
Mm.
And I need another N for neck.
So you said you got face rig. What DLC did you get for that one?
It's the live 2D one or whatever. The second link is for Brad.
Oh, okay, I got it. $3.99. There's a bunch of free ones in here too, like Team Fortress and Free Avatar, Starbound.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody Googled him, seriously, if you're this woman and you Googled him and you just happened, you probably aren't Googling his neck tattoo like I am here. But if you just Googled him in general, right, and you happen to see this image, wait a second. My boyfriend doesn't have the under the armpit tattoo. Or wait a second, my boyfriend's face doesn't look like that when he pouts, or whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
a student gets locked inside Japanese station after the last train. Trapped student sends out an SOS on Twitter when staff closed the shutters on him during a toilet emergency. When nature calls, do you think I should share this? Save this for Augie when he can be here.
No.
No, you're right.
Let's just get it over with.
When nature calls, sometimes it's an urge you can't control, and no matter where you are or what you're doing, finding a toilet fast becomes a top priority. That's what happened to a student in Japan recently who went to the toilet with stomach pains at a train station in Kumamoto. And while he was relieved to have found a public bathroom when he needed it, he came out to find he was in another predicament. He was now locked inside the premises. Thus, the survival horror game began.
Yes.
The incident occurred on the 16th of October when the last train departed from Fujisakigu, my station. That's an interesting name you got there, Fujisakigu. Okay. In Kumamoto City's who cares? All right. After finding himself locked inside the building, the student began tweeting for help live on Twitter at around 11:30 p.m., sharing photos and videos of him attempting to open the shutters at the exit with his hand. The student hurriedly explained the situation in a series of tweets, saying, "I'm completely trapped in the station. When I was in the bathroom because of a stomach ache, a staff member came and said they were closing, but I said, hang on a moment. And now this is what happened. What's going on? What's going on? You're locked in, idiot." Like, the tweets, which have since been made private, went on to say, "The only way I can get out is by jumping the fence. I'll have to enter a prohibited area." Well, my friend, there is a fence beside the platform at the station, although it looks like a privately owned property lies on the other side. Oh, I see what he's saying. Like, oh no, I'm going to be trespassing. People quickly replied to the tweets with practical advice on how to best handle the situation, with some even suggesting he contact the police. However, at 12:22 in the morning, the student updated his Twitter account with the following message: I got out. I can go home now." While it's unclear how he managed to escape the shuttered up station, the student warned everyone to be careful of these types of situations, saying he was cold and mentally exhausted after the ordeal. He also went on to say, "The station official who came to check the toilet was locking up when I got out of the toilet and we made eye contact. So, of course, I thought I was still able to get out. When I headed over to the exit, the shutter was closed. When I rushed back to where the staff member had been, he wasn't there anymore. This means that I was intentionally trapped, doesn't it? It's house arrest, isn't it?" Okay. Despite the student's claim that the shut-in was intentional, Kumamoto Electric Railway made a statement on the 18th of October apologizing for the error and citing the cause as lack of confirmation by staff. They said, "From now on, we will enforce patrolling confirmation rules at the close of business for both our employees and subcontractors to ensure this doesn't happen again. Throughout Japan, stations typically close their shutters after the last train of the day, so it's vital that employees complete thorough checks to ensure no commuters are left on the premises. However, if you find yourself at a platform with no entrance or exit, or staff for that matter, then it's up to you to make sure you don't get left behind by the last train, because in the middle of nowhere, that would cause major problems." Yes, and it's definitely a level in Silent Hill that I recall. All right. Japanese elementary teacher busted for hiding student shoes, writing "die" on their belongings. Real quick, I'll check the chat. Imagine he was impersonating a rapper that gets a new tattoo every week. Jokers, he could come on. That was in reference to your VTuber. All right. Okay, good ones. His motive is probably not what you think. Have you ever felt like your teacher really had it in for you? Maybe they graded you lower, spent extra time calling you out in class, or peed on your sleeping bag during a school trip. We covered that. For students at an elementary school in Akiruno City, Tokyo, a similarly strange case has come to light where their teacher has been stealing their belongings. The suspect in this case is 38-year-old Koichi Inoue, who allegedly stole 3 shoes from students at the Tokyo elementary school he worked at. Again, elementary school. Arrested in late September, when questioned by the police, Inoue claimed he had, quote, no idea and denied the charges. Finally, somebody in Japan that says, there is no mistake, I did the crime, right? However, the shoes, which for some reason were all right foot shoes, were found in Inoue's staff room locker. That sounds like a setup. Further investigation uncovered security camera footage of Inoue, and interviews with his coworkers only incriminated him further. Well, damn. Inoue was originally arrested when it was discovered that he had written "die" on a student's disaster prevention hat. He had also written "you're gross" on another student's painting set and was arrested for suspected vandalism. However, it appears that Inoue wasn't carrying out his petty crimes because he hated the students. Rather, he hated his coworkers. Right. That's the excuse that you use so that your jury goes a little easier on you. In further interviews with the Tokyo Metropolitan Police, Inoue declared that the stress that came from working with his fellow teachers pushed him into committing his weird crimes. Right. That's definitely it. I'm always the first teacher to arrive each morning. The other teachers don't do their jobs at all, he claimed. Hiding the shoes was meant to be an added inconvenience for them. Surely there are much better ways to relieve work stress than hiding shoes. I gotta know. Oh, is this the guy who... Oh, no. I thought they were going to link the guy who... that government worker who was printing... He found the porn site and printed the porn into a file in his desk because he was too old to understand how to save or use a home computer. You guys remember that one?
Yeah.
Anyway, although the police didn't elaborate in too much detail, the shoes apparently can no longer be used. All right. We'll leave whatever that means up to your imagination. Inoue had been working at the school since April 2017, during which time over 100 items have been reported by students as missing or vandalized. Police are currently investigating to see if there is a possible relation to Inoue's case. Japanese commenters had this to say about the teacher's unusual behavior. Hiding a kid's belongings, how childish. I wonder, did he choose to become a teacher because he never wanted to leave school? Okay. Hurry up and make all schools distance learning. Why on earth is this guy an elementary school teacher? Kids, make sure you don't grow up to be like this weird guy. What kind of 38-year-old takes out their stress with other teachers on a bunch of children? You shouldn't work in education anymore. Maybe the longer you work with elementary school kids, the more your way of thinking starts to work like theirs. Yes, that's certainly it. This year has certainly seen its fair share of questionable behavior by teachers in Japan, and not just by natives either. But Inoue's arrest will at least lead to one less inappropriate teacher in the classroom. Yep. Okay. Well, hopefully this next article is better. Japanese man arrested for running around in stolen pajamas. I'm going to be real. I just added a bunch of these at the end, so I hope they're good. A strange incident where a man was caught walking around outside wearing a stolen pair of pajama pants has led to his arrest after a woman, to which the pajamas actually belonged to, reported the matter to the authorities. The ordeal began when a 46-year-old female office worker living near Shimane Prefecture's Kawamoto Town noticed a 68-year-old man walking around in pajama pants. Upon closer inspection, she somehow realized the man was wearing pajama pants that were stolen from her. I'm guessing like a coffee stain or something, right?
Yeah, coffee. That's
coffee, yep. Informing the police of his brazen display, the officer who rushed to the scene investigated the old man's house and found the thieved pajamas, which he had perhaps removed from his body by the time he was confronted by the officer. When questioned by the officer, the elderly individual admitted that he broke into the woman's house and stole the article of clothing and was then arrested for invasion and theft. The pajama-loving culprit lived within the vicinity of the victim and remarked that he filched the pants sometime in July. Police are investigating the matter further, though they've advised the woman to make sure her home is completely locked, as it was learned the woman failed to do so. Well, shame on her. All right. All participants of orgy party in Japan arrested. So, I hate to say it, but this is another example of the article headline is way funnier than the article itself.
Yeah. At least we get
we'll
to see this gorgeous picture again.
I know. It's almost like it should also be in the thumbnail I will have to make at some point. Cops bust organizer who says he's been hosting the parties for years. Back in early August, Yoshihiro Murakami, a 62-year-old. Okay. Back in early August, Yoshihiro Murakami, a 62-year-old resident of Osaka's Shimanochi neighborhood, invited a group of people over to his home. As a thorough host, he also had some entertainment planned, but his guests weren't there. Sorry. I'm thinking in the back of my head. I'm sorry. I'm thinking in the back of my head about the thumbnail right now. Let me start that again. So he invited a group of people over to his home. As a thorough host, he also had some entertainment planned, but his guests weren't there to play charades or watch sports. The gathering was the latest, quote, orgy party organized by Murakami. And his naked shindig's guest list consisted of 7 people. 5 men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, and 2 women in their 30s. It's not known whether the unbalanced male-to-female ratio was a crowd pleaser or not, but it's a pretty safe bet that all 7 guests, plus Murakami himself, were unhappy when they got arrested by the Osaka Prefectural Police last weekend. While there's no law against a group of consenting adults going straight from nice to meet you to let's get it on in Japan, there is a law about saying sure as long as you pay me for it. Murakami assembled the orgy group through an adult website he runs, collecting approximately 15,000 yen or $143 from each of the men. The women, meanwhile, didn't have to pay anything and were instead paid from the money collected from the guys, with Murakami also ostensibly getting a cut of the cash. He also reportedly interviewed the male applicants before allowing them to attend, though it's unclear whether this was an attempt to gauge how discreet they would be, or because he was trying to weed out potentially problematic participants. This being another opportunity to just throw in a random stock image they found. Personal hygiene is probably a plus in an orgy applicant screening interview. Okay. Because the participants were invited to the party with the laid out terms of pay/get money for sex, Murakami's orgy was seen as a violation of Japan's anti-prostitution laws, leading the Osaka Prefectural Police to arrest the entire group once they found out what happened. All of the participants have admitted to the charges, with Murakami saying, "I've been organizing paid orgy parties for years, sometimes hosting them in his home and other times at hotels."
No. He was organizing them.
The arrest might be a surprise to those who have walked through the bar districts of major Japanese cities and seen open operation of not just hostess bars, but erotic massage and body washing services, some of which even offer to dispatch the masseuse to the client's home or hotel, so that he can enjoy her services in private. While the Fuzoku industry is rife with stories of under-the-table prostitution, sex is never explicitly offered, allowing for ostensibly plausible deniability along the lines of, after the masseuse gave the customer massage, the two decided mutually and without compensation to engage in intercourse. That's a pretty low hurdle for staying out of trouble with the law, but ultimately, even that proved to be too much for Murakami. So, I have other paragraphs from the Sankaku Complex version that I thought were funny. Police also disclosed that he ran an adult site called Murasame Kai, right? Remember Murakami? Okay. Where men could spend 15,000 yen to participate at these group sex events. Female attendees would instead be paid for participating. These forbidden orgies were apparently being held multiple times throughout the time when Japanese citizens were requested to stop going outside in order to minimize the spread of coronavirus. I like how that was part of the story. Like, to make matters worse. Also, sadly, in another story where the headline is all the gold you're going to get out of it, Taiwanese schoolboy finds real grenade while playing war, presumably wins.
No? No?
No.
Anybody?
How many people were dead?
None, unfortunately. The article isn't that good. But I saw at the bottom here.
Fortunately.
Meanwhile, in Japan, netizens were overwhelmingly surprised that they were reading a story about Taiwan and not their own Fukuoka Prefecture, a place uniquely famous as the #1 location for both beautiful women and grenade attacks. So this is the one we're actually going to be reading. Help the police find grenades and land yourself $1,250 per grenade. In these hard economic, I like how they tried to remove the background by clicking it with the paint bucket tool with the yellow and just gave up halfway through. There's no pictures of grenades without backgrounds. This is too hard. Oh no, we can't undo far enough to get the original image back. Just upload it. In these hard economic times, there aren't many ways to make a buck. The Fukuoka Prefectural Police are pitching in during these cash-strapped times. All you have to do is help them locate some deadly unexploded ordnance. Yes, on the 30th of March, Fukuoka Prefectural Police announced that they will be giving cash rewards to anyone who can provide tips leading to an arrest of anyone in possession of grenades. And I'm announcing that I'm canceling my trip to Fukuoka. It's what's called the Grenade 110 Incentive Program. 110 is the emergency number for police in Japan. You can receive a whopping $1,250 or 100,000 yen per grenade that they find on a suspect. It starts on the 2nd of April and is open to anyone in the country. Right, because if they started on the 1st of April, we would think it was a joke, because, dear God, this seems ridiculous. Before you start looking into how much grenades cost on the black market so you can turn them in for profit, forget about it. The authorities have already stipulated that no arrest equals no money. There must be a perp to go along with the weapons or no reward will be given. Also, if you happen to lead police to enough grenades to equip the Israeli army, then of course they will have to reduce the reward payment down to somewhere under a kajillion. Okay.
Precisely kajillion.
On the other hand, if the suspect you helped to get arrested turns out to be a major player in the organized crime world, then you'll get some bonus money on top of the 100 Gs, depending on how big of a cheese they are. I mean, if you think about it, if there's some big organized crime in Fukuoka Prefecture and you happen to be like an underling, right? If you got somebody, like, let's just say you knew that the boss or whatever had, stockpiles of like hundreds of grenades, and somebody offered you this much money per grenade, you'd probably turn your life of crime, turn state's witness.
You cut your 3-weekend trial of being a gangster short.
Yeah, 3 weekend. You know what? I've decided the gangster life isn't for me. I'm going straight and narrow. Give me my $120,000.
Also, I need some witness protection.
Right. He's turned state's witness, right? Other types of explosive devices will be accepted, and the monetary reward will be determined by the authorities based on the seriousness of the weapon. An M80 might get you some bus fare if it doesn't land you in jail for interfering with the police investigation. So I was thinking about this, actually. You know how claymores say front towards enemy on them? Nobody knows this? Okay. Damn it, you guys make this so hard. Yes, that's what she said.
This is my new Photoshop hair that I just really jankily did to see the boundaries of what it would push. And apparently it cuts off at the top because these are supposed to be spikes.
That's unfortunate.
Yes. Can you turn your head to the side? You're like Mickey Mousing over there with the ears. Okay. So as I don't have an N key, I typed in Claymore Mime, and I was a little disappointed that the autocorrect fixed it for me. It didn't give me a mime getting blown up by a Claymore. Okay, so you guys aren't familiar with this?
I think I am.
This is an absurd side tangent I'm making here. You're not familiar with the fact that Claymores say this?
I think I am.
Well,
yeah.
I want to own a medieval Claymore with this inscribed
on the
blade. Right? Just have that in your living room that says front toward enemy.
It would have to be on the edge of the blade in microscopic font size.
No. Yeah, you mean edge toward enemy? I just think it'd be funny to have a Claymore hanging in your house.
Or how about this side towards enemy with an arrow pointing to the side that you slash with?
Anyway, side tangent joke over. Going back to the article. Okay. All right. What's the M80? There it is. Okay. This whole money-making opportunity. Damn it. Refresh. There we go. This whole money-making opportunity, crime prevention method, is in response to a spate of grenade attacks on businesses believed to be run by feuding Yakuza clans. 6 such attacks are reported to have taken place last year, killing 2 people and injuring 1. Following the axiom that even one grenade attack in your prefecture is too many, police have decided to go to these extreme countermeasures. An assistant chief of the Narcotics and Firearms Unit said that residents in the prefecture are really scared, so they want information that will put an end to these attacks as soon as possible. And now some words I never thought I'd type. If you happen to be in Fukuoka Prefecture and spot someone with a grenade, this could be your lucky day. Just call the Narcotics Firearms Unit of the Fukuoka Prefectural Police at 092-641-4444. Police guarantee that all tips are anonymous, and you probably have a better chance of winning money this way than with a lottery ticket. Yes, how do I work these into the thumbnail? Grenades. Okay. Man arrested in Kyoto after failing to return rental car over a year past the deadline. So, Reese, audience, did we cover this?
I don't think we did not. I don't think we did. I read it. I remember reading it, but I don't remember.
Okay, hold on.
I don't think we covered it.
Hold on. Otakuso says, I've seen hentai with better animation than FDDNM.
And Seb pointed out the fallacy with that.
You've seen worse too.
This is 60 FPS. I don't think I've seen any hentai with that high frame rate.
With your eyes half closed.
I don't think you're very hentai connoisseur.
No. The only hentai I own is Lucky Star.
Hot.
Okay. All right. So the late fee works out to be more than the cost of a new car. On the 5th of September, Kyoto Prefectural Police arrested 44-year-old Masafumi Hagiwara in Fushimi Ward, Kyoto City, for embezzlement. The charge: he'd kept a rental car for over a year past the return deadline. Police say Hagiwara hired the car from a rental company, that's a weird way to phrase that, in Fushimi Ward on the 25th of June last year. On the 2nd of July, when the car was due to be returned, Hagiwara called the company to extend the rental, saying, "I'm in Tokyo, so I'd like to request an extension." However, Hagiwara still failed to return the car, keeping it and using it as if it were his own vehicle until the cops caught up with him on the 4th of August this year. It's estimated that by the time Hagiwara was found by the police, the late fee on the vehicle would be somewhere in the range of $72,000, more than the cost of a brand new vehicle. I mean, it depends. What was he driving? Was he renting a Tesla? I'm guessing not. People online were quick to react to the story with comments like, "What was he thinking? He signed a contract, so there was no way he wouldn't get caught." What's most surprising is the fact that nobody tracked him down for over a year. Yeah, seriously. He could have bought 2 new cars or 5 lightweight K vehicles instead. So this is embezzlement and not stealing. It's like he caused the company lost profits. I mean, yeah. A friend of mine works at a rental car company. I bet you I know why he didn't get caught. I bet you that the company waited so that they could cash in on insurance for that vehicle and then contacted police. It's like a friend of mine works at a rental car company, and they say this happens sometimes. Some people even hire cars to commit crimes. No. I have to find out which one of my AirPods is dying. Hold on. The right one. Okay, good. That's the shit one. Okay. While commenters tried to make sense of the man's actions and pondered over his motives, others mentioned how inconvenient it can be when you have to return vehicles to the same branch.
Hey,
Still, that doesn't mean it's... Am I? Did you unmute me? Can you guys hear me?
I heard him, then I heard RHYS say, "AC, you're muted," then he stopped talking.
Unless I'm muted.
Otakuso says Dojin Hentai is good. Okay. Thank you for contributing to the podcast, Otakuso.
FDM, can you say something?
Hello, my name is Fudnum.
Okay, I can't hear
boy.
anybody.
Perhaps it is because RHYS is working on his own little project.
I can't hear anybody.
Okay. Can you leave?
Leave.
Can Brad hear me?
Can you say leave and come back in the private chat? Because I don't have an N key or a B key.
Okay.
He cucked himself.
Oh, he did?
I think he did it intentionally, so it doesn't count.
Self-cuckening is not, it doesn't count towards
Okay,
the count.
I'm going to keep going. I don't even have to reread that because you guys actually heard me. Still, that doesn't mean it's okay to keep rental cars past their deadline. And if you do want to make an epic journey to Tokyo from hundreds of kilometers away, you can always try to do it by bicycle. Well, that's not what this article is. But we're going to read this one. Fukuoka man cleared of theft charges because he was only borrowing victim's bike. Probably the only time that excuse has ever worked. We all know the cliche excuse when someone is caught red-handed stealing something. Quote, "I was just borrowing it." It's both as awkward and ineffective as a guy texting someone, "I'm super good at massages," and yet is still often used in those Hail Mary situations. I don't remember why that's such like a not. I mean, I know we covered this But that's such a weird non sequitur for this situation, but whatever. However, according to a judgment in a Fukuoka district court on the 28th of September, an interesting legal precedent was set when a man was found not guilty of theft after successfully demonstrating that he was just repeatedly borrowing a bicycle without permission from the parking area of a housing complex. On the 8th of June, the 24-year-old suspect was riding a bike when he was stopped by police for routine questioning. Upon learning that the bicycle didn't belong to the man, the officer arrested him for theft. Since the man was currently on parole for a previous theft charge, this charge would likely result in heavy penalties. Restarting comp.
Yeah, his computer.
I wonder if he just restarted his ears. Maybe that would have worked.
No,
that was a bad joke, and you should not have laughed at it.
He has installed a certain new program that may need to restart the comp.
That hooked into his ear, his ears. I mean his listening devices. Would you like a chair, Julie?
My legs went to sleep.
Just give me a second. Or have you been sitting on one of our? Yeah, those will do that to you.
Luxurious stools.
Yes. Thank you for the word I was looking for, stool. That is actually it. It's a bar stool type thing. Anyway, on the 8th of June, yeah, I already read that. I was refreshing because this image won't load. You know what? It's almost certainly just a Japanese stock photo image, so I'm just going to keep going. In the ensuing trial, the man explained that after being released from prison, he moved into the housing complex in question and noticed an unlocked bike in his park. Okay, so when I first read this, I didn't make the connection. The man was currently on parole for a previous theft charge. When the man was released from prison, he moved into a housing complex in question and noticed an unlocked bike in its parking area. So immediately gets out of prison for theft and goes, hello, bike, unlocked. So he would use the bike to go to the supermarket or convenience store, usually for about an hour at a time, and always put it back where he found it. At the time he was stopped for questioning, the man had been using the bike for about 12 hours. Still, the judge ruled that on the basis of his previous usage, half a day was, quote, not beyond the scope of borrowing. It was an unexpected ruling, and readers of the news online didn't quite know what to make of it. That is a groundbreaking decision. This is the kind of case they would use in law school. So if he used it for more than 12 hours, then it would become theft? What about the wear to the tires, rims, and frame? He is shortening the life of the bike. I wonder how this will affect the rental car case, which is the one we just looked at. Is that judge okay? I think you can easily see how wrong this decision is if you simply replace bicycle with panties. I guess we've become a communist country now. Okay, it might not be theft exactly, but it's definitely bad. As someone who's a layperson with the law, this ruling doesn't make sense, but I wonder what a lawyer would think of it. A prosecutor for the case told media, after examining the ruling and consulting with higher agencies, he will respond appropriately, which is lawyer speak for once we figure out what just happened, we'll know what to do. As many comments mentioned, even if it's not technically theft, it is definitely wrong and should be in violation of some law. It could be said that the suspect was robbing the owner of his bike's longevity through wear and tear. But there's also the catch-all obstruction of business law that's usually good at accounting for criminal oddities like this. Regardless, while we try to find the legal definition for what happened, hopefully this serves as a reminder to always lock up your bicycles and unicycles. Strangely not a link to an article. Even if they don't get stolen, you never know what's being done to them. All right. So these last three articles were all ones that I shared with Reese, and he's like, might as well. And he won't come back. So here you go, guys. Police officer caught downloading dirty videos from suspect's phone. Suspect charges the police with theft for a change. Perhaps it could be said that what makes a really good cop is the ability to rise above common human urges and uphold the integrity of the uniform. Not everyone can do that, though, and sometimes the responsibilities of law enforcement take a backseat to pure, unadulterated friskiness. This was the case on the 28th of October last year when a senior officer decided to lay it all on the line for some erotic video. The incident occurred at the Nishirai station of the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department when a suspect's smartphone was being analyzed as evidence. Once the procedure was complete, the 36-year-old officer on the case decided to take a bathroom break with the phone still in hand. Apparently, a certain video or videos with sexual content caught his eye during the analysis, and using the privacy of the lavatory, he sent the content from the suspect's phone to his own using the social media messaging app Line. That particularly downloading method proved to be the officer's undoing. All right, ignore all this crap. It's just a picture of Line for nothing interesting. After the phone was returned to the suspect, he noticed the line transfer that was made without his permission and reported it to police. The ensuing investigation led back to the officer, who was reprimanded on the 9th of October of this year. As punishment for tampering with evidence, his salary was to be docked 10% for the next 3 months. However, as he was also facing criminal charges of, quote, unauthorized computer access, he voluntarily resigned on the spot. He also told the other officers that he did it, quote, out of curiosity. Readers of the news were largely lenient on the actual crime, but less so on the sloppy way he went about it. Quote, haha, sounds like he wanted to investigate himself a little bit. Okay. I think it's not a big deal, but leaving evidence is just stupid. Oh, like leaving the line messaging thing? Yeah. Dirty videos are meant to be shared. A guy's horniness outweighs the law. At least it seems like he had a lot of time to enjoy it fully. You have to delete the chat, man. I'd like to know what video it was before I pass judgment. If it was a regular adult video, I think it's fine. But if it's something he made himself with his girlfriend, that's crossing the line. Well, to be fair, I feel like that has to be what it is. Because, like, this, in Japan, with the blocky genitalia, that's the only thing I can think of that would give this guy the incentive to actually, like, try to do this. Because it seems like the dumbest thing ever. Where was I? Here. I wonder how often that happens and the officer isn't caught. I'll tell you this much. When I was much younger, I had to go to a computer repair shop and get one of my computers scrubbed for a type of Trojan virus or something like that. And while we were there, they were working on another guy's computer and they were going through his like naughty pictures. And like it was the most bizarre, unprofessional thing I'd ever seen. Because I'm like, I don't know, like 15. And like the guy was like verbally reprimanding him, like, all right, man, time to get back to work. And he's just like giggling, like, it's on the hard drive. Like, all right.
Hi.
You're back. I hear Reese. I hear your luscious voice.
Oh yeah.
And it sounds like I'm not muted to you. Cool.
Well, I installed FaceRig, and for some reason it swapped my audio output.
Yes, it's funny that you say that because that is precisely what FDDNM predicted was the problem.
Regarding the IT thing, though. I was what is it? I did volunteer work, even though it was slave work technically, for my uncle who ran a computer business, and there was a bunch of extraneous hard drives from old computers of clients that weren't clients anymore. So I was like erasing all of them, or no? Was I doing a data recovery or a backup? Either way, the point is, it was like this mother's drive or something, her hard drive, and I was just going through all of them, like, because I had to anyway, because I was moving all of the files manually, and there was a single dick pic in there. I'm like, we got her.
I thought you were going to tell me a story that resulted in why you like reverse traps.
Nope. That's the end of that. The lesson is be wary that the people who have your computer are in the most power.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Okay, so anyway, the last ones. I wonder how often that happens when the officer isn't caught. Line, if it's an Android, use USB. Great phrasing. If it's Apple, AirDrop it. What an idiot. True, given the plethora of data transfer methods available today, it's hard to imagine a more incriminating way to send a video than Line, which stamped his ID and time at the scene. Maybe he should have used the "I was just borrowing the video" excuse, as that's been known to work sometimes. All right,
that's
there you
probably
guys
I was
go.
borrowing the bike.
Yes, that is it. That's why we shared that. All right, so let us discuss. How do I do this? Forgive me for a second. Of course, I have to be added onto the stream to say "Blood the Last Vampire." Okay. Damn it, Reese. There you go. All right. So,
Blood the Last Orgy.
Otakuso says you sound like a stroke. That's just mean. Yeah, Blood the Last. Did you change the name of the podcast to that?
No.
That okay, good. Because the opening to my opening to this video is going to sound really weird if that's the name of the podcast. Okay, so how did you guys even come up with this as a selection choice?
Halloween.
I'm curious because I haven't been here.
Halloween.
Whose idea was it?
I think Reese's. Like, the thing is, I was going through my Mal, I think, or no, not my.
Well, the reason
Mal.
I
was
asked,
going through all horror.
Well, I personally, I really like this movie, but the reason I ask is because I find it weird that we can't do any Gundam, but we can watch Blood the Last Vampire,
which
and
has
completely ignore Blood
series.
C, Blood Plus, live action Blood the Last Vampire. So apparently, you must not care about this the way you do about Gundam, for barring us from watching any of it.
Well, Gundam got to start with the first one. That's like 40-some episodes.
Okay, so I guess you're saying that because Blood the Last Vampire is technically the first one, even though it takes place chronologically at the end, that's how that works? Because that's after Saya's lip injections.
That's what I was thinking when I watched it.
Right. Anyway, what did you think of it, other than the obvious stuff that it's English and Japanese, or more so it's Japanese and trying to be English. I mean, it's not the dub, like the English speaking is okay. The English performance isn't great, but it has some weird charm to it. I really like it. Seb says, even though it's like 40 minutes and I have it, I've never seen it. So I'll say this. I really like the movie. Animation wise, it's very, what's the word?
It's good for animation.
I don't want to say inventive, but like it's refreshing, right? Because it is short, and there's a lot of rotating camera techniques. There's a lot of movement that is well put together for its time, especially. There's bathtub corpse for those who are into necrophilia. There's I like the moment I remember most vividly about the movie is when Saya asks for a new sword, by the way, Saya is Japanese for scabbard, like the sheath of the sword. She asks for a new sword. Don't even. My wife is so inappropriate.
No.
How dare you? She's a 9,000-year-old vampire. How dare you? So when she asks David for a new sword because it's getting dull, and then she gets the one at the school that is fake,
plastic,
and she goes to slash the chiropteran, and it just bends the sword. Right?
I thought that was the biggest oversight. I'm like, how do you not realize it's fake from just holding it?
That's the way I'm building up to my actual favorite moment, which is when they finally get her the new sword, and the vocal performance of her yelling "sword!" right, and he throws it over the fence or whatever, and she catches it and slices the thing in half. Like that's like such a great moment in that animation. I love it. That's my favorite part of the movie. And then the part that I put on Twitter, where she's dripping the blood in the chiropteran's mouth, doing the "I am a generous god" Xerxes face.
What was the point with all that? Was she like trying to? Was she resurrecting it or just giving?
Well, I
it
think
blood?
she was. I think it was like a. It's kind of like when you step on half of a bug, and then you just kind of like, yeah, bitch, squirm, right? Like, and then you stomp on the other part of it, right? I think that's what she was doing. I think it was like a, like, I know that you want this blood, and so here you go, dick. After I sliced you in half, kind of thing. I feel like that's what it was. Yeah, like I feel like she was. It was supposed. I think it was supposed to come across as cold, right? But it was funny because of the Xerxes thing that happened way later that seemed to fit the thing of just like, I am a generous god, right? Anyway, so what did you guys think of it?
I think like the opposite.
You didn't like it, or what?
I'm not going to say fully the factors are that the dub was so bizarre and jarring. There was no subtitles on the disc at all.
Okay.
The other thing is,
I watched it at 3 times speed on VLC before the podcast.
So while
which had subs on for all languages.
While that didn't help, the other thing, the main problem is you just start right in the middle of something, and I'm like, what's going on? Why do I care about what's happening? Who is this?
So,
why do I care about them?
By now, you know that is my favorite way to watch something, where you jump me right into the middle of the story, and you don't have to explain anything.
Yeah, but
and I piece it together through like minute details instead of like overt
so you like
exposition.
Dark Souls?
I never played Dark Souls, but I probably would like it.
That's like the storytelling stuff. Well, the thing is that, like, what I get the gist that they're hunting monsters, but why do I care about them hunting monsters? That's the thing, and I don't care about the characters at all because it's 40 minutes.
So have you seen Blood Plus?
Nope.
So Blood Plus, I think, is really boring for the first 13 episodes. There's about one good bit in it, and then I want to say by episode 20 or so, it really sort of takes off. But I was enjoying it for completely different reasons than I think was intended. But they kind of go into the history of Saya and what's her name, Diva, her sister.
Diva.
Yeah. And you get a lot more. You get a lot of the questions you have answered.
I think I will straight up like Blood Plus strictly because it has like a proper dub cast.
Yeah, although I'll say this, her brother's name is Rick, and they call him Riku in the dub, which is terrible for Blood Plus. Like, his name is literally Rick. Yes, they're saying Riku, but it's Japanese katakana way to say Rick, right?
Riku.
And then in the dub, they call him Riku. So, It might have been, honestly, it may have been because of lip flaps that they chose that.
I will say that the movie definitely is at least a spectacle, but other than that, I didn't really get anything out of this. I'm just like, oh, cool, that's a cool demon fight kill scene.
Why am I full screen?
Why are we here? Just to suffer? Hey,
last...
Lance, here's my VTuber glory that I was talking about last night.
The last kill for that, just like zooming in like a shitty camera shot, just like a shitty handy cam shot, just watching her slice the thing's head off or whatever from the Jeep. That was weird. Just like it was a
yes.
It was anticlimactic.
You're talking about the very last kill. Yes, I think the very last kill is because they do the thing where they're like, get closer. You make that sound so easy. Where they're like driving the Jeep up to the plane.
And it's like, I don't know, man. That's kind of easy when.
Well, but it's like, so it kind of seems like when you think about an action movie and you think about all of the cliches, right? Like the helicopter escape or blah, 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 right? And you just kind of are throwing in an action scene because it's action-y. And then it's like, I don't think we ever realized why. I don't think we ever realized why the thing was even going after that plane. Like, was the president
it
in
made
there?
It look like it was going after that giant pontoon or whatever, and it's like, what is that full of like explosives or something?
Like, just kind of get away.
The world's supply of frozen blood from donators. Like,
of course. Like, you need human blood to actually run planes. That's why it's actually bad for the environment. The human harvesting.
That would be the scandal of a lifetime. Yeah. So anyway, I thought that I liked the movie actually at 3 times speed more than I thought I was going to, and I liked it growing up. Like, I liked it when I saw it like 8 times in 2004, but seeing it again, I dug it. I thought it was great. Like, all the things that I liked about it in the past, I liked about it. I was still impressed by, I guess. Like, I feel like a lot of the podcasts we've done for the watch clubs where we've rewatched something I saw a long time ago, like Escaflowne, Dunbine, all those different shows, I felt like they didn't quite live up to the
rewatch
nostalgia or whatever. But I thought that this one and Ghost in the Shell 2, which are actually both by Oshii and the same team, you could tell there's the glow effect in this that is in Ghost in the Shell 2 is very prominent. And I thought all of that looked great because I guess maybe because some of those things are more spectacle, they're visual spectacle based rather than I don't know, like typical anime moe shit or whatever. But anyway, I like it. I don't think I have much more to say about it. I think the music's good, but not like phenomenal. It definitely doesn't end with the Japanese cover of the Beatles' "Happiness is a Warm Gun" like the show does. But other than that, it's fun. So would you guys like to say anything more, or would you like to lead into Helpful Fox Senko-san or whatever it's called?
I mean, I don't have anything particular besides it's not worth hunting down, in my opinion, unless you
not for $100.
Unless you want the
Is it $100 really?
Is it? I have 2 copies of the DVD.
Well, I knew that. Yeah, actually, that's true. That's true, actually, because when I first started the channel and I was doing the rare DVDs tip, I remember just like that was one of the ones where I think I talked about in that video how I didn't like there a lot of stuff in my collection is rare without me realizing it because I just bought it when it came out and didn't think about it again. Yeah,
Blood the Last Vampire, the DVD is like $10 on Canadian Amazon.
What about the Blu-ray?
Yeah,
let's take.
I have the Blu-ray. I remember buying the Blu-ray like I don't know 4 or 5 months ago.
This has a different
just because
cover.
it was
this must
there.
be the Japanese Blu-ray, but it says $83. Yeah, this is the Japanese Blu-ray because Oh, the one I have is $210.
Seb says it's $2 in Sweden.
I'll say that
checking out.
it was actually. So I thought the presentation was pretty good. Like it would have been way better than what the DVD was probably. But the sound, the 5.1 track was
5.1.
excellent. It was a great use of 5.1 because when the train like goes right, like it smashes into the camera, it like goes right through you, and I'm like, dude, that's pretty sick. Except it's got the classic overly dynamic audio, so the voices are like, hey, blah 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 blah, and then poof, for the explosion.
Well, I'll say this about it is that the American characters, because it takes place on that.
Oh, that was the other confusing factor. It's like, is it because it's like, here's your Japanese school uniform, acting as if that's like something that's abnormal, and then they get into the school and it's like, are you Japanese? And then
so the
like,
thing is
what?
that they're at they're on an American military base in Japan.
Yeah.
That's where the story takes place. So
and
the
basically
girl that's
all the
asking her
students
that
are military.
They're American like, what do you call them? Their families are stationed in Japan. So the kids are going to that school, rather than being in America going to school there, right? And did you notice how they treated the black characters in this movie?
Yeah,
I didn't realize this
when she just
until I rewatched it. When she grabs him and like lifts him up by the jaw or whatever, and then later on that black like police guy on the base or whatever gets like disemboweled. I was like, they're really embracing the stereotype in the black character in the horror movie.
I thought it was funny that when the nurse ran into him, she just screamed at him like for 2 seconds straight.
Yeah.
That's because she was really frightened, not because he was black.
And I was like, you say a bitch, I'm black. Just leave me alone. Go away.
Yeah.
That
was probably one of the better vocal performances, though.
I think what's his name, David or whatever.
David?
He probably had the best voice actor of the bunch.
No, I feel like the way she's the last remaining original. Like the way he says
I never
it
said that it was good. I said the best.
And the way like when he said no, say you can't.
Are you Japanese? Konnichiwa.
Oh, that was so funny. The audio track for this is like, apart from the sound effects, the dub is stupid.
Right there. It's like a megalodon tooth stuck in that rock right there.
It's a root.
Oh, that's terrible. Those graphics suck.
I'll say at best, this is interesting. That's one of probably the only anime I know of that it's like when they adapt it to the dub, it's usually like, oh, you speak English or whatever, or Japanese. And they're speaking English.
Yeah.
But this
because
time,
normally
it's all authentic in the universe.
Normally when it's always weird when they dub that and they're like, you speak Japanese? It's like, what are you talking about? You're speaking English right now. Yeah, there's a movie that first happened to me. Julie, what are you doing? I'm sorry. My wife just rode a horse somehow onto the outer railing of a deck and fell like 100 feet. And the getting off the horse animation was going on the entire way down. Anyway,
I felt on a mine shaft.
Yeah. So there's a Jean Reno movie called Wasabi that takes place in Japan, and it's like he's the French guy from Onimusha 3, right? And he supposedly had an affair with a woman in Japan that had his kid that was a daughter who was half French, half Japanese. And when I watched it, the movie's in French and Japanese, but it's dubbed in English and Japanese, right? And when I'm watching it, we had the subtitles on, and he's talking to the guy who speaks French, like, can you translate for me? And he's like, she just spoke to you in English, right? But in the subtitles it said she just spoke to you in French, right? And that was my first experience of noting, like, oh yeah, when you dub this stuff, you kind of have to change that, don't you? Right? So have you seen any anime or whatever where they dub it and they say the wrong thing? Like, they say they don't change it from Japanese to English when they're saying that?
I'd have to think of an example.
Because you brought it up, and I'm wondering why. Lance says he speaks fluent sarcasm.
Well,
Anyway,
it's kind of like I don't know if Infinite Stratos specifically had it, but it's like there's characters from all different countries, and it's like, oh, you speak Japanese? And it's like, yes, I do.
All right.
Well, I'll say this, Lance, regarding French people always thinking about dicks. Oh, you mean because we? Yeah, I gotcha. I get it. Because we is Japanese.
Oh,
we is
UI,
French for yes.
UI.
Yeah, I was gonna say
UI.
that Otakuso sent me a horrifying video about a guy who got in a motorcycle accident and his dick fell off. That I didn't want to see. Thank you for that, Otakuso.
Oh, gosh.
I've seen too many dicks lately.
Did you find some in some
Hunter
trash cans?
Biden reference.
Black Lagoon?
No, don't bring that up. All right. Anyway, but when a Russian shows up, the Japanese voice actors speak in bad. Yes, great. That's always wonderful. And yeah, in Black Lagoon, yeah. So that's one of the main reasons why it's worth it to watch sub, because then you get to hear the cringe Japanese speaking English in Beck and all those other shows, sometimes with a lisp, which is really funny to me because I'd never heard a Japanese person with a lisp until that anime. Anyway, I think it's time we wrap up though, because it's 1 a.m. And I think my wife and I should go to bed because we have to rear children in the morning. So let's. Oh my god, Lance says it must have been a catastrophe. Lance, you just got your account back. Do you really want YouTube to ban you again? Anyway, so I don't have Senko-san. I can't show people. Can one of you, namely
the resident VTuber can.
VTuber just got it too, didn't he?
Yeah, the VTuber just got it, and it's at his table.
It's in the description as an affiliate link. If you want to buy it from Amazon. If that is the best price for you, great job. We detect that your camera is being used by facerig.exe. Try closing facerig.exe and then restart Logitech Capture. All right, well, there you go. You did it. All right, so if you guys are going to be watching this, I don't know anything about this and probably wouldn't be able to watch it even if I had it because I still can't find my Blu-ray player. But we'll figure something out. So
yeah, this isn't even a combo pack. You can watch my digital copy, I guess.
Suppose I could. All right. So other than that, I think we will wrap it up for here. And I want to thank you guys for spending the last 3 hours and 40-something minutes with me. And we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you again, Greenline743, for the enormous super chat.
Holy crap, thank you.
Definitely money that will go to
our new VTuber careers.
Yes. I will take it as payment for setting up RHYS's VTuber mascot guy, which would be an interesting challenge. But for now, I want to go to bed. So I'll see you guys hopefully next week. And let me know in the comments, like when the video is no longer live, if Monday in the middle of the day or Sunday at this time is better. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. See ya.